Exodus has died, power word kill, and had
And
his soul absorbed
destroyed
by Arno for his phylactery, which is cursing Stormbrook, but nobody knows that except for those who are consumed by it at this point in time. But in the aftermath of, or in the process of all that, Booker gave up the finger in order to spare the lives of everybody else in the party.
That was me.
Where Delion,
that was Sword. He snatched from Delion and gave it to.
That's right. After being dominated, also, and being ordered to kill Delion. That's right. You went willingly, then you got dominated, then you were ordered to kill Delion.
That turned out like, I bet.
Delion did a bunch of overcasts and nearly died, surviving barely by the skin of her chinny chin, and
like a 2-dex.
Was only saved by the grace of Adeline demanding Arno to leave. Then they went to do a long rest to attempt to do the resurrection on Exodus, which failed, where they then encountered Eurus the night before, who had brought Anto with him, who had ran away after not being recalled with Delion's overcast teleport. Then he ran into a paladin of Ivonia named Vero that beat his ass for being a coward, as he should, and very single-handedly gave it to him, which interrupted his long rest as well. In the morning of, or not the morning, they took a long rest during the day. In the evening, after failing the resurrection, a mysterious purple tiefling bard introduces themselves to the group before immediately being shut out by Booker for having a moment, who then went to the side to wait as they had their discussion with Eurus of what to do with the Blackrazor, and further frustrated Delion, who was in emotional turmoil of all events going on at the time. And I think that's where we left off.
I'm very sorry.
Yes, Booker?
Oh, no, I was just very sorry for shutting him up last time.
That's fine.
It comes with the territory of a
that was very much what would have been done by anybody.
I was very frustrated as well.
Some stranger walking into a funeral and just being like, "Oh man, my name is."
He doesn't care.
I want to find it. I find it very funny because the guards were ordered to close off the temple for a day, and then in walks this bard. Either he snuck in or he was sleeping somewhere underneath like a pew.
That's where I was placed. So that's what I went with.
I was pretty sad. Yes, I was pretty sad as well. So I was sad.
It was a very sad. It was a shit show. I'll be honest.
So we left off as Eurus was demanding, or not demanding, but requesting that he be killed or something because of the pain. And I'm trying to. Anto suggested I stab him from the back, which probably won't guarantee his death. So if I take the sword and put it next to the shard, is there some sort of effect or some sort of movement of the shard?
As Delion has the sword in her hand, correct?
Yeah, I'm using it with both hands, obviously. So.
You can barely pick it up. It's a great sword. You know, Delion is just a 14-year-old girl wielding such a massive weapon. The shame that Exodus is slain. Exodus's body is put where?
I will keep it in a crypt somewhere in the bottom of the temple for now.
You want to keep it in the Temple of Ivonia?
Yeah, for now. I mean, I'll transfer it later to the shrine. It's a shrine, right? Or is it a temple to Saint Exodus?
Temple of Madel.
Exodus has his own temple.
Okay. Yeah, I'll transfer it there later, but for now, we'll just hold it to prepare the body for transfer.
Yeah, is Sora still here, correct? Or has Sora left?
Sora's would still be here at the moment, yes.
So Sora's in the room. We're in like the main temple chambers of Ivonia in the city of Stormwind, which is a part of the kingdom of Stormfire. A kingdom that has been liberated more than once by the Dark Divide, but the Dark Divide is no more. All that remains is the Odyssey of Illuminators. Sent off by a quest by Eurus to gather Blackrazor. A piece of Blackrazor, the tip, was shattered in the Great War of the Gaia Tree. His chest, centered, is racked with pain and darkness. It comes forth to the surface of the skin like a web. The veins stick out, or like ink blotches. It's pretty bad, Delion. He looks at you with fiery eyes, though. And last week you were kind of, how should we say, a little, not the most welcoming person to him.
To who, Barnet? Or?
To Eurus. You were kind of down and distraught, saying that he only speaks in riddles and vagueness. And he looks back at you, Delion, and says, as you try to wield the sword, you lift it up, and it's difficult, as it's filled with starlight. He looks at Delion with his gold shimmering eyes into your gold eyes. He says, foolish mortal. You don't understand anything about Zin, do you?
Did I understand something?
This Zin is a world of fantasy and wonder. Every part, every creature is a part of it. And a piece of dreams are the hopes of everyone, including the mortals here. Therefore, Zin has no boundaries, and yet you are so willing to give up.
Well, I'm not willing to give up so quickly, but certainly everything seems to be against us right now.
Have you lost hope?
I'm trying to find a new hope, I think is the best way of putting it. But let me see if I can attach the shard to this big sword. The sword weighs about 6 kilograms, so it shouldn't be too bad.
You kind of lift it up. You struggle to, like, wield it. Vyro, you look at Delion. She's pretty unskilled with the blade of this size. I mean, in fact, she's kind of like a priest, you know?
I will put my hand on her shoulder and suggest letting someone a bit more. You don't want to hurt the god any more than this is going to if you end up
I'm not trying to
stabbing
use the
him.
blade, I'm just trying to connect the blade.
Isn't the shard inside him?
Is surgery not an option in this case? I know he himself cannot remove it, but couldn't somebody else with a medical profession be able to remove it?
Yeah, I mean, I have.
I think if that was an option, he would have sought it out a long time ago.
Maybe.
Unless he's too prideful as a god, of course. And I look at him in the eyes.
Do even gods have health insurance?
Vyro looks into his eyes. He looks back at yours. There's almost like...
I'd rather not the sword corrupt anybody else. So that's why I'm holding on to it right now.
As Delion picks up the sword, you feel like a coldness. Like a chill come over you a little bit. And there's almost like a whisper says, "Come back to me." The sword speaks to you.
come back to where or to whom?
The plane of shadow.
I don't think so.
Who are you, girl? The sword says to Delion.
A servant of Ivona and a forsworn enemy of the darkness.
I need to feed.
Not today.
I need souls.
I just have to say, not today.
Eurus looks over at Vyro, and he says, and he kind of looks at Delion too, as Vyro puts, his hand off, and your hand probably comes slowly off the shoulder of Delion, who's, again, probably only like 5 foot something. And
she's apparently talking to herself.
And she says, I'm sorry, Eurus says, my sister returned because the people began to lose hope like you. They forgot their dreams, Cardinal, their ambitions, and so the darkness grows stronger.
Yeah, I mean, that's expected, but again, we need help, so once I find some help against the darkness, then certainly we can find new hope as well.
Delion seems determined and steps forward towards Eurus. Says, you cannot do this. You've already had too much doubt. And now, a moment later, your heart feels with sudden surge. Where were you when the great fires came, young girl? Were you even born?
Well, I'm holding on to the sword because I probably can resist its power, but how is the Vero at this situation?
He was suggesting he would do it, but he's respecting your decision if...
But what's your resistance, like, wisdom-wise, for example?
Oh, good.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you don't believe that I'm actually working against the darkness with all my might, then certainly I can try to turn this over to Vero, who seems to be much more committed at this stage. Then I sort of move the sword towards the Vero.
Delion hands you the obsidian blade, or offers it to Euro. The blade emanates a strange chill about it. It's made of starlight.
I hold it upwards, and I'm going to use a divine sense.
On what?
See what kind of... on the sword. See if I get any kind of vibe from it.
Your eyes turn light, and your hair flutters with the flame of Ivonia, to see if you can spot evil within the sword. The sword is an artifact forged in the great fire, within heaven, near the great pillar of creation. You feel a binding to it, Vyro, as it is celestial nature. But you almost feel like a stranger to it as well. Like passing someone on the street. You think you know who they were, but they're not. It's trying to draw your attention. You feel a sinister power coming from it. A power of malevolence and destruction that has been twisted. Something that you've heard of the fallen angels having in common. Are you a fallen angel?
Not quite, no. I'm a fallen angel.
Eurus says, I haven't had the strength to kill myself, as he looks over at Booker. I couldn't do it. Even if I could, I don't know if it would work. This was the only way, I think, to finish what was supposed to be started. I failed in killing the darkness. He's no longer my sister.
When I use my divine sense, do I get anything from Eurus himself?
No.
You preach about those losing hope and how the world is of hope and how anything is possible through dreams and such, but have you lost hope in your own survival as well?
I was there in the Great War, Archmage, when the sword pierced into my heart and the darkness fled and cowered away. Where were you?
He was having fun reading books.
Thinking about how long ago was the war actually? The Great War?
10 years ago.
10 years ago? I was studying to become where I was today. So I could make a difference.
You're immortal and you think about time in mortal ways.
Where I existed before I was me, I have no idea.
Do you have the courage to defeat the darkness?
Well, I can certainly try.
Vyro, and Booker the sword.
I hand him the sword.
So what? Pardon? Oh.
Booker, Vyro, what do you do?
I hand him the sword.
Ooh, I am not very proficient in such weaponry, but this is not an attack. At least not what I believe it to be.
Do you have no faith? No
I
hope?
have faith. I put my faith in those around me. I put my faith in myself and my teachings to learn and to strive to make things better. I put faith in what is not only in front of me, but what can be reached beyond. To grasp the future and the past and mold it into a better present. That's at least that's my hope, I suppose.
You are alive. 10 years ago, you say?
Yes.
Where were you then? When my brothers and sisters looked for people like you with such conviction.
Sheltered away by elders in fear that I would perish, I suppose. I only wish...
With the secrets of the gods, you feel like you could take us and destroy one now.
To kill a god. I could only hope for a rebirth of something better.
Wave kind of says to Anto and says, man, this is kind of fucking weird.
I know. But shh. Let it happen. By the way, I'm going to be like by the door away from all this because the anything goes bad.
You see Anto just kind of slink a little bit back with the trident. What is Barnum doing?
I'm outside at the door. I was asked to leave. Just practicing my instrument.
Now, you were asked to be quiet, not to leave, I don't think, were you?
I took it as I should leave.
Hmm.
You guys hear the bard like playing a little bit of what instrument is he playing outside?
I'm always on the cello unless I need the mobility of a viola.
You pull it out of your cello out of a bag of holding.
I did not get a bag of holding, so I'm just carrying it, on my back strap.
It's a big fucking instrument.
It's easy to carry, man. I carry mine around.
Yeah, it counts as
just like
a
a backpack. You just fold it upside down. It's not that bad.
Oh, you can fold it?
No, it's just it's not that. It's like a traveler pack size.
It's a hollow instrument. It's not super heavy, but it's
very
still,
light.
It's still big.
It's bulky, but it's not like it wouldn't hinder your ability to like walk around and shit.
I think standing it could be probably almost as tall as Delion, maybe, depending on how
You want
big
me to show
get them.
you? Like, I'll show you how I carry it.
No, I'm just...
Okay.
Delion in the main chamber here, like the picture has, the brazen fire embers out into the chamber, right?
Yeah, I mean, Arden can come in and watch if he wants. I'm not going to prevent anybody from coming in. Will you just get the sword and be done with it? I mean, he seems to be, again, dragging out the situation, whatever it might lead to. I'm just trying to connect the sword. I'm not even trying to kill him.
Barnon, you hear Delion say that, you're welcome to come back inside. Do you come in?
Yeah, I would come back in to witness this legendary tale of a moment. I would be the first to compose the ballad of this.
I will see Booker holding the Blackrazor, and I will fix his posture with the sword, and I will cast Bless on him.
Yeah.
I would like to contract you, Barnon, as well, for a requiem for an accident later.
With pleasure.
The pain is
Booker
too
has the
much.
sword. What is he doing?
What is he doing?
Booker, what do you do?
I would suggest you connect the sword with the shard. I'm not trying to necessarily stab him.
Can I see the wound, like the general area of where it was stabbed? Like between all of where the black you said was on his chest?
You begin to like go up and touch him, I guess. He
Well,
you have to inspecting him, right? Or you just like looking at him a little bit.
I mean, I guess I have to inspect him, but I am wielding half of a large sword, so in both hands.
Seems unfazed as you come up and touch him. He's like, "Is this the first time you've touched a god?"
Yes, I suppose. Well, yes, I think so. I think so.
Booker makes a perception roll.
Okay. And I was told I have...
Or investigation.
Ooh,
because he kind of looks at the wound of, like, basically the blackness that permeates beneath the flesh. It's, like, fainter than a tattoo, like ink spots. And you try to feel... You feel like a heartbeat, there. You know that Eurus is in a different form, though, right? Apparently he is some dragon or something.
As he says, yes.
Can I make a perception roll as well to get a sense of where exactly the wound is?
I'm having Booker roll it first, and as Delion was kind of close, Delion can make a perception roll.
Yeah, I think investigation is more... Because I'm touching, and then perception seems more like looking, so... 24. Wait, I was told I have Bless, is that correct? Or
Bless is just for attack rolls and saving
Oh,
throws.
alright, never mind then. Sorry. 24 then.
So when you go to stab him, it'll be there.
Yeah.
The first thing that, as you see Booker going up, Delion, and touching his chest, looking for wounds, like you pull away his toga that freely flows about him. Booker, as you touch him, you feel like a brisk of wind, around you a little bit. It flutters, just faint, it's unnatural, and it's not coming from the fires from within inside of him. It kind of comes from around him. It's not like a whistle or any type of noise, though, as it's stilled. But what Delion sees as this happens, Eurus looks straight at Delion as Booker is kind of like doing this, to him. And Delion sees something familiar. Like looking into a mirror in a way. Something very familiar, Delion, is there. And Eurus just looks at you with like a cold stare. Like he knows something that you don't.
Okay.
And you feel almost like, and you feel like transfixed into his eyes while you get this feeling about you. As Booker searches around to see where the shard is at, he's like, it's too deep. It's a part of me now. It's next to my heart.
Okay. I believe. I have faith, and I know. And Booker will lift the blade and I guess go for it. Like trying to, if it ends up killing him, it ends up killing him. But if I'm gonna try and reconnect the pieces, I'll do my best.
Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. I stop mid.
I go back to Eurus and I say, what are you not telling us?
He just looks at you.
You're
He
holding
says,
something from us. I don't know why.
you look into his eyes a little bit. They shimmer with gold and his white hair, and he says, this world is not all of what it seems, is it not? Your destiny, who you are, where you go, and all the creatures connected to it. And yet you're so full of doubt. You're not unlike my sister, are you not?
I don't have any doubt in myself. I just have doubt in things that are happening right now. But
Where?
all that aside, what are you not telling us?
You think you're just a prophet just by chance. You just came to be with all this great power. Someone so young as yourself, given charge of great works built on the shoulders of giants that came before you. You truly are ignorant. I expected more from you.
Okay. You're still not really answering the question.
That's what gods do, vagueness.
I think the time for questions is over.
If every
Delion.
mystery was revealed to you,
It would be a boring campaign.
Oh, I mean, we could speak to the sword, I suppose. The sword might tell us. But...
Delion, you get that feeling again as you go, like you directly get kind of closer to Eurus, as Booker is ready to impale him with the sword, or at least attempt to. And he says, will you shed no tears when I die? He looks over at Delion.
There's an emptiness in my heart right now, but I don't know.
People like you who have this emptiness, and that is what the darkness is. It's the emptiness that is left. It's like a despair, and it will destroy this world.
Very well. I pray.
Have you ever felt so much pain as me? Ever since that day? It's enough to drive you insane.
I can't say I have, but I pray that everything will go well. But perhaps I should hold the sword with Booker together so that the sword doesn't get out of our control. I do believe in the gods. I mean, that is why I'm here. But sometimes it feels that they're very far away.
It's a shame you worship the wrong one.
Okay.
I raise the blade and I ask him, "What is your name?"
Eurus.
And in this form, what are your final words that you wish to depart on?
Let the pain end now.
So it will. And I will thrust it inward. Oh.
You thrust it in to him with Delion
Yes.
kind of helping you. Roll an attack roll.
Okay.
I can bless up to 3 creatures, so I guess Delion
You're
and
blessed.
I also have bless.
Right, an attack
Delion
roll.
rolls. You roll with advantage, Booker, because Delion is helping you. And then you just
Alright.
add the D4.
Let me add I guess a great sword to my inventory real quick, so that way I can do it. Just roll it.
Blackrazor is in the.
Well, I'm not attuned to Blackrazor, right? So
Attuning to
it's
the
just-
item only takes an action.
well, I mean,
We're just going with the story, Booker. We don't need to go all rules lawyer
okay,
right now.
all right. I'm sorry. I was just trying to roll it so I didn't have to roll so many. All right, 2 d20s. Roll
Yeah, you just
for
roll with advantage.
Well, that's 18 plus a d4, which is 19. But I have a -2 in strength, so that's a 17 to hit.
You plunge the sword into his chest, and Eurus screams. It almost sounds like an elf and a beast all at once. As the sword sticks through him, he collapses to the ground. His body turns to ash. And he says, "At least it's finished. And I can be free from my pain." And it's kind of like in the Thanos, the Avengers thing. His body just starts to disintegrate before you. And
feels so good.
Rest.
And you see as his body begins to disintegrate away, a lone shard of the blade, once wielded by the darkness herself, falls and chings. Ching, 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 ching. Just bounces a little bit off the floor. The tip of Blackrazor. Coldly with a hollow and metal chime against the marble floor.
I set Blackrazor down before I can attune to it.
You set it down on the ground. It falls to the ground because you just impale it, and I'm assuming you just probably release it or pull back.
As soon as I could get my hands off of it.
And it falls to the
aiming
ground.
for it.
So you see Blackrazor and the piece on the ground.
I carefully collect the ash and put it into an urn. And
There's no ash.
There's no ash. There's nothing. Okay.
It's like
The
nothing
robes?
is left. Nothing.
And I pick up the shard and I try to connect it with the sword.
You pick it up, Delion. You pick up the sword, and Delion picks up the shard. Delion makes a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution, not a wisdom.
Constitution.
Did she
Because the
use her
sword
bless?
is sharp. She can be blessed. Yeah, roll the d4.
It's not a good roll.
Oh, that's not gonna even matter.
I rolled a total of 9.
You cut yourself. Your hand is cut by the blade, and you feel like a piece of your essence being taken away, Delion. You permanently lose 1 maximum area hit point. You continue to, and you drop the end of the tip of the blade with as you get cut, and it's like your essence or soul is being taken. Yes, you permanently lose 1 hit point as you cut yourself on the tip of the blade.
Delion, set it down.
Well, I think we should join the sword, don't you think?
Yes, but please set it down for right now. until we can move it without having to touch it. Please?
All right. And I'll set it down.
Okay. This is a lot. This is very heavy.
Yeah, I know it's a great sword.
No, I'm not holding it anymore.
Of course, that's
I don't. Can you fix a?
The question is Eurus really dead, right? Or has he just been
Sword
released to
looks
something
at
else?
where he was and then sees that he's no longer there, and he turned to ash and then turned to nothing.
Right, but that might mean that he returned to his plane, doesn't it?
As Delion says
last
that,
time something
you hear like a heartbeat.
He's been reborn. He's a baby now in the room.
Just Delion hears the heartbeat.
And you look back as Delion says, hey, I don't know if he's dead, and Vyra doesn't look. You guys look down at the blade on the ground. So Blackrazor is on the ground, and so is the piece of the shard. And at the tip of the piece of the shard, bit by a magical bit is either being pulled from the void itself, perhaps part of the spawn of creation itself. Blackness begins to envelop over the piece as something begins to take form.
Back up. Trying to give space. Whatever this is. Do you wish to stand closer to it?
But do you need to, but what do you think it is?
So Blackrazor is just getting more enveloped by darkness?
Just the tip starting to slowly form as it just feels like interweaving of blue and dark magic is beginning to form around the shard as something begins to take form. And now you see the shard that was already black beginning to grow a little bit.
I actually try to take a closer look at it, see if
like,
I can make out the face.
Like, it's not becoming a new sword, it's becoming something else. Right? It's
Delion makes a perception roll. As you see Delion get closer to this and see this.
30.
And Delion, you see veins beginning to form.
I'm tempted to just connect the shard to the rest of the sword, but if Booker knows something that I don't,
well, currently you're the only one who knows something that we don't.
Would I know something based on my history?
What are you trying to do, Barnum?
I mean, is it familiar to me from my accident?
You get the same feeling that you've had before, this coldness. The blade has been touched by the darkness. And depending on how you perceive that, by its very nature, it must be evil. And it's wherever the darkness goes, destruction follows.
But it used to be a good sword, and I thought that maybe Eurus's soul, if it's in the sword, it might return to the good, right? Light, the name of the sword was Light something.
I think he'd be very happy about that hopeful thinking, but I think at this point it was wrong.
Well,
If I may interject here, I do believe you would desire to quarantine that item. I don't believe it would be in your best interest to handle it yourself.
if anybody can handle it, it would probably be me, because I could resist it. And also, I
Soar,
and the power of the god.
Soar, Mage Hand it into a bag of holding or something. I do not have Mage Hand prepared right now.
Well, I'm the closest to the sword right now, right?
The sword is there. It appears to be unaffected by what's happening, but around the tip of the blade, as Delion wants to reconnect the tip, it's no longer a tip, right? It's like a heart. It's beating on the ground as it starts to take shape. Something is taking shape.
Can I go ahead and throw my trident wave, throw an attack towards the heart?
I'm
Throw
glad we
your
both
attack
were
towards
thinking
the
the same thing.
Yeah.
I was about to cast
I
Sacred
don't want to
Flame on
fight.
it.
I don't want to fight something when I haven't had my long rest. So if I can prevent it, I will prevent it. So
You didn't have a long rest. Anto, you had a long rest, man. Stop joshing around, dude. You had a rest last night. What are you talking about?
did
we
I?
fought,
Though?
and then we
Yes.
rested. So you rested
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, yeah.
Click
Still,
your
I will-
long rest button,
I will
man. Stop
pay
playing.
the trident to it.
Hey,
You gonna
you
play
need
this on
like
super hard mode?
you need like 10 minutes and you're fine as a fighter.
Yeah. I'm going to throw the trident towards it.
I could also cast magic
Anto,
sword.
you roll an attack with disadvantage.
Magic
Because
sword.
people on Twitch are giving people disadvantage for some reason.
What?
Oh, God.
And that's what they all want to do.
Disadvantage. Let's go. I rolled a 16.
You miss it. The wave skids off the ground as you painfully miss the heart.
Yeah.
And as
Somebody-
you release wave from you, it's like, don't let me go.
Somebody kill that thing before it forms into I don't know what the hell's gonna be.
Can I cast magic circle to contain it?
Yeah, I think Magic Circle takes a while. The casting time of it is like 10 minutes or an hour.
No, it's not that long, I don't think. Hold on, let me just double check.
Because I remember other people have tried to cast it before.
It's 1 minute.
You start to cast
Well,
Magic Circle? Yeah,
The duration is 1 hour. That's
yeah, I'm just trying to think about it. Because I've had people try to use it before in the past. Yeah, it takes 1 minute to cast.
Perception with the,
Yeah,
with the shape
you could
form
get it
of
off
the
as
metal.
Delion reaches over and, use the spell slot, Delion, as you begin to
Okay.
cast the magic. And it looks like Delion is trying to contain this thing. What are you trying to exactly do with it, though? Are you trying to... Is this for a particular creature or something? Or I forgot how the spell works.
you have to things like dictate what kind of creature.
What type of creature are you... Oh, it's... Yeah, you have to dictate celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. And that creature, it's sort of like this banishment concept that you've been playing around with, Delion. But this time it's like you put a circle, you start tracing out a magical circle on the ground. So what sigils you start using for the creature type?
Crap, I don't really know what type of creature it is. I don't think so.
Animal, vegetable, mineral. It could be.
Could be celestial.
It could be celestial or undead.
I think it's either celestial or fiend, but why would it be undead?
I mean,
I think Fiend would be more, because it was wielded by Ball.
could be his sister.
Alright, I'll try the fiend and we'll see how it goes.
We got a paladin. Just
Just ask him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I sniffed the sword, that's how I'm gonna flavor my fine sense. I just sniff, and it was kind of celestial, but it was also evil. So I'm guessing it'd be more of a celestial.
So celestial is the right one then. Okay, so I'll connect the magic circle against celestial.
You start to ward it. You start tracing the runes. As you begin to cast a spell, you have time to reflect that it reflect on beings that should guard against. There are specific creatures that concern you, of course, but the magic circle protects against certain kinds of creatures. Whoever discovered and crafted this pattern in the weave of magic had a particular view of what constitutes a threat. And you begin to scribe around. You see Delion begin to do it, and the heart begins to take more form. as
That's
meat begins to form around it. It gets to be larger, like about this big now. Something is growing.
I cast Sacred Flame on it.
Yeah.
Vyro attacks it.
so the sphere, by the way, is a magic circle with a 10-foot radius. So just so you know, you don't want to be inside it.
Oh, I'd be in there. I'm stuck in there.
Oh no.
I'm going to summon you
Guessing
guys
I
to the
would-
board so you can see my
I would-
rolls.
Oh.
Kind of be a celestial, given my.
I'll roll this roll at, apparently the next player roll has disadvantage. I will roll this one with advantage. I have to roll a con save. Roll a 19, and one of them, Vyro, resists your Sacred Flame.
It's a dex save.
Oh, well, I just rolled a 19 dex
yeah,
save.
19. Yes.
On the
I
specified
think it
board.
takes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Takes
Did I give you guys an error?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
We're on the king's board here. Let me know, does this summon work for you guys? There you go.
Yep.
I was just trying to experiment with another temple. It doesn't seem to work, Byron. But of course you can always try again. It's radiant
Yeah,
damage,
but-
correct? Or fire damage?
It is radiant.
Okay.
But I think if they pass a save on that, it doesn't do anything.
Well, how about? I guess I'll help and blast magic. Wait, no, I didn't prepare magic missile. Shit. Well,
Bad.
okay. Well,
Shambles.
Yeah. Well, I am not.
Booker, as you start to like flip through your spell book, you know, in desperation, you see arms and legs beginning to form. Delion, your spell successfully casted, and you like pull back a little bit as the circles around this creature that's forming, and you see scales too.
Oh god, does it look like a dragon?
Gold.
I think it's a dragon.
Or does it look like one?
Barnon makes a perception roll.
Pretty good at that. 31.
You see the black magic beginning to form around with the blue, and you see stitching as the void begins to like pull forth, you know, and just, you know, is that Eurus forming again? You see his elven body beginning to take shape. As his, the heart, sound of the heart begins to slowly get closer. You have about 2 minutes before maybe he's fully reassembled or comes back.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Just in case it's not mage armor. Just in
Little
case.
field goes over Booker. It like disappears into him though.
It just kind of gets a little, shield that vanishes. It's invisible. Yeah.
Well, this
Anto.
has gotten quite interesting.
I have a gun for my driving, so you can look it up and get ready to run.
Anto
Be
grabs his
prepared.
trident and says, "Are we ready to get out of here? We need to still go donate to the church, but
Oh my
this
god.
creature starts to go crazy and destroy this temple. We can convert everybody to Lunir."
Save that conversation for later. Don't worry about it. Come on, man.
Okay.
In preparation for this, I will twin spell Shield of Faith on Delion and Booker.
Ooh, Vyro's starting to bust out the cheese. I like that. He's been reading he's been reading up. Been checking out the Dungeon
Yeah,
Dude
you have
videos.
You'll have a +2 bonus to your AC for 10 minutes, but it's concentration. So if I get hit,
Awesome.
you might die.
I shall provide accompaniment to this performance and cast Circle of Power. Preparation for it.
That's a new spell I haven't seen. What does it do?
Everyone within 30 feet of me gets advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. And when they succeed on the saving throw, that allows them to take only half damage. Instead, they take no damage.
Good spell.
Level 5 spell.
It is a very powerful spell.
Awesome. The divine energy radiates from you, distorting and diffusing magical energy within 30 feet of you. It's kind of like a anti-magic shell type thing. Yeah, I just have it as you have a advantage on any save versus spells. Everybody in the room, yeah. Cool.
We'll also provide Long Strider to Vero and Anto. Let's give you some accelerado in this performance. You guys have 10 feet added to your movement. And that'll be, and I'll give it an inspiration to Delion.
And you
as
see,
I play a solo piece for her.
As you start playing the solo strings, Delion feels a little bit of hope returning back to her. But you see within the circle that Delion has drawn, the magic swarming around you. It's not this place, this altar is not unfamiliar to powerful energy by the prophet herself. And you see Eurus, his whole body feels complete now. The robes return to him. But his body seems unblemished like it was only a moment ago, Booker, when you pierced the sword through his heart.
So we're back to square one.
And he opens his, you hear him gasp for breath. And he opens his eyes. And he leans up and he looks over at Delion. Says, "Am I dead?
We're back to square one.
What are you doing here?"
Oh, you're risen, but everybody was scared that something else was rising.
You didn't die. Why? Wait, I'll look.
He spits out blood over his white toga. What happened?
Well, I stabbed you, you dissolved, then the black tip became a heart, which I assume then grew into you. So, I don't know. You just died and came back. Is it possible for him he can't die? That's not.
I've seen this sword kill other gods before. What is happening?
He's become one with the sword.
Are you being barred from death? Is that possible?
Eurus just seems like in shock.
I'm also in shock.
I'm trying to figure this out.
I'm excited.
Eurus looks up into Delion's eyes, and Delion, you kind of piece it together a little bit. It's like almost looking into a mirror, Delion, in a way. He's like, what happened? Why am I not in the heavens? Is this what happened to your friend?
Perhaps your duties are not finished here?
Because we tried bringing Exodon back, and he didn't come back, but we tried releasing you of the mortal coil, and you came back, which I don't understand. It makes no sense. It's as if the gods are all willy-nilly, or things are not doing the right natural order.
It was supposed to work. You didn't believe enough, did you, Archmage?
I believed. I can't control everything. I can't control every aspect of Zin. But I can have faith.
Control yourself and your own will, can't you?
I'm really thinking about striking him again.
I have to recover from my shock a little bit. I think the deities don't want you to leave just yet. I don't think their mission is finished here.
The deities don't give two shits about me or you. You think I haven't tried to ask them to end this pain within me?
They still have like the shard in his chest looking.
He looks down to his chest, Barnon. You see this black begin to seep out again and go over his flesh. But this is something new, Barnon. That is, for a sense there, he did seem like lucid almost.
You mentioned your sister before, and that she brought the darkness. Is that correct?
She is the darkness.
So perhaps, so long as the darkness exists, you also have to stay. And the both of you are connected in some way. I try to be kind of wise a little bit a kind of cleric type.
Could be. Eurus says.
I mean,
Creation and destruction are one and the same, are they not, girl?
But the fact that you've risen from the dead brings me great hope that there is a light that will probably banish the darkness at some point.
And it is true. But they do say the rumors, the wind and the birds tell me. The heroes have returned, have they not?
Yes, I think this is a sign. I have to
God being
with...
denied death.
When you say returned, what do you mean, like reborn? They rise from the dead?
They are somewhere around.
So do we need to find heroes or something?
My sister and I, when the fires came and destroyed much of Orin, we searched through the four corners of this world. My sister was not satisfied, and she traveled beyond. And she never returned. When she did return on that fateful day, she was not herself anymore. She was of shadow and flame. That is where he looks down. He like coughs a little more blood out. I am too weak. I must rest.
Something we should
he puts his hand up to Viro. It's like, take me to my quarters.
I'll put his arm over my shoulders and guide him to his bed.
And he goes to his quarters as Viro takes him. He wants to leave. As he's leaving, Viro takes him out. He seems to be racked with a lot of pain. He stumbles when he walks. The body is heavy upon you, Viro.
This has been a confusing day.
I don't
When
suppose I can
people
cast
deny
any...
death.
Well, there's two things. I can commune with the deity to find out more information, or I can try to heal him.
Can you communicate to just your deity or other deities?
I think it's just my deity, I believe.
It's whatever you want it to be, Delion.
Can you show me that spell? I think I could learn it. Maybe.
Yeah, it's divine deity or divine proxy. It's a ritual spell. So
As Vyro says this to like it's a strange thing, he says, "Before I was created, the gods said that the Titans came together, creation and destruction, and created everything we see, even you and me. Is it so strange to think that we have been born by something greater?" He lays down as you like lay him down into the bed. He looks like a young man though. Like this shouldn't be right. Byro, like if he was a human, like he should not be infirmed. It's most unusual. Even with someone, maybe someone who had the plague only would behave like this. He's like, as he holds your hand, Byro is like, I can't last much longer like this. It's driving me crazy. The pain. And nothing can do to stop it.
If
This is my last hope.
If the darkness ends up taking you completely, and you will be an unkillable menace. We need to figure something out soon.
Finding Blackrazor was the last hope I had. My lair was built nearby. I'm sorry I wasn't truthful with you. That I wanted you to destroy me. But this is a pain that you would never wish on even your worst enemy. I wouldn't even wish it on my own sister. Perhaps that is what she feels. The anguish. The emptiness. And the despair. And I wonder if something is there. Find it. Figure it out.
I take a deep breath, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and before he goes to bed, I'm just gonna cast protection from evil and good on him, just as a pat on the back.
Yeah. He closes his eyes as dragons are known to sleep for long periods of time. He tries to rebuild his strength, and you shut the door. And the wood in the abbey, the wooden door creaks as you shut it. And you see a god sleep before you, Vyro. And as you shut the door, wind follows you.
I will head back to the others and just sit down on one of the benches by the altar.
Yeah. We're back in the main chamber near the altar.
Does he need healing? I asked Byron.
I don't think any kind of healing is going to do anything. We need to figure something out soon, or else we're going to have a unkillable dragon god that has gone mad. And I don't think that's something we can deal with.
So, he was restored to his normal self. I don't really know what to do at this point, other than to commune with the deity to ask some questions. Anybody have any questions?
My only question is for all of you. Why are we all so long? We have here Prodigy of Avonia, a flaming paladin of legend, a very capable fighter, and a somewhat unknown but well-intent archmage. It seems we have all the tools necessary to defeat the darkness right here.
And you yourself, Bard, are a understander of darkness?
You could say such a thing, I suppose.
Why don't you just say it then?
You would notice my black eyes, indicative of the common darkness that you see. I've had a bit of it. Description. 6'2".
Okay, we're the same height. That's nice.
I've had a bit of an accident, you could say. And I've been on a quest of sorts to deal with that issue. It seems that the best recourse from my situation is the outright defeat of this darkness.
I will stand up from the bench and walk towards him, and since I did flavor it as sniffing, I will divine sense in front of him. What kind of vibe do I get from him?
Well, you wouldn't detect anything because I am just a humanoid.
Humanoid, okay.
What kind of soap? There you go. Well, Booker is going to... He's been pacing back and forth through the altar, kind of thinking. I need to go to town. Is there a magic shop by any chance, or sort of an apothecary, any sort of stores nearby?
Fuck, what was that guy's name?
I did encounter this salesman by the name of Rashad my few days here. He seemed to be of a helpful sorts.
All right, I need a few components.
You see a vein bulge in Vero's head once you mention his name.
I have some ideas, but the thing we lack the most here is both understanding and intelligence in the general department of what is going on, because this seems to deal a lot with the overarching gods, I think.
Well, you've heard it from this here Eurus, was it?
Eurus.
Eurus, yes, my apologies. He has said that the darkness is a manifestation of the world's despair. And what better way to eliminate despair than the defeat of overarching evil, is it not?
So we have to do good things and save people? Defeat literal darkness, in the sense?
I'm not ready to do that.
Would you do?
I have a question. Is the sword still there?
Yeah, it's just a tip that turned into Eurus again. So the sword is just kind of on the floor.
Yeah.
So the tip is gone, but the sword's still there?
Maybe we should wrap that up.
I would walk past Exodent's body while looking down at it and just going, tisk, tisk, tisk. A possible masterpiece soiled in such an untimely matter, but what would he have done in this situation?
Dory picks his head up, gotten mad, and killed God, probably.
That is not the rumors I was hearing about him, but you seem to have been more acquainted with him. And we shall scratch that idea. He must have been quite the fool indeed. Who do you know that is perpetrating the most darkness in this current time? I've heard of rumors of a genie king to the south.
Excellent was a legendary hero, so certainly we would like a requiem from you, perhaps, to celebrate his funeral.
I can provide such a thing. I had a somewhat personal investment in him myself, though it seems that was wasted.
One of the big servants seems to be this kind of lich, I guess, called Arno. I mean, I believe that he's one of the servants of the darkness that needs to be hunted down.
And his compatriot, Adeline.
Yes,
They seem
now
to-
getting hold of 4 fingers of darkness, I believe.
I had
Between
heard
holding
The
last
nameless
one.
one.
that only Anno and Adeline had removed a monstrosity that was the kingship of this land. Am I mistaken in this?
They had some connection to our fallen member, Exodin. So perhaps there was a falling out of sorts. I don't know. Personally, I've barely heard of these individuals more than half a week ago.
Hero, what of you? You are no small tale among us bards. What would we leave in a fiery path?
I pull out my hand. Gods are being denied death. Souls cannot be brought back. Oh,
So, according to your lore, Blackrazor has already consumed some gods, right? Do you know anything about the lore, Barna?
Would I? Is Blackrazor going to be something I would know about?
If you want to make a history roll, you can. Or you want to ask a question, you can. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, are you trying to expand on it, or
Good at history.
this is just one of these things where you have to figure it
Okay.
out?
I'll do a history check.
Oh, my history check's a 14, so
So usually how I do it is like the DC of the item, right, or something like that. Or 10 plus CR of the creature is another good one to use. What are you trying to ask about it, Barnum?
Would I know if it has consumed a god before?
What were your feelings about Exodus? You said that he was like, you had an investment with him.
I simply passed by him when he was having remorse and seeking atonement, and I just simply gave him a nudge in what possible choices he might make. And I thought he was too stubborn and arrogant to really be amounting to anything, but sometimes the most surprising results come from the least investment.
You know, you know that Blackrazor, the legend behind it, that it apparently has slain the gods of Metal and Voltun. And maybe that is why there isn't as much forgiveness in the world as there used to be anymore. And
Okay.
maybe you thought Exodus was foolish for believing in a dead god, even though he was very powerful and he was able to erect a temple for Metal. It's the largest one besides the one here for Ivonia in the ruined temple district. And with Voltun also dead, you feel that the seasons aren't what they used to be either. That things are not as changing as much as they used to. Longer winters and shorter summers.
Would I know that it became Blackrazor before or after it slayed those gods, or in between?
That Blackrazor was forged at the Pillar of Creation, perhaps by Comida and Comies themselves, to battle the
I thought it
darkness.
was White Razor when it was first made and then turned into Blackrazor.
That's right. But then when it was destroyed as the darkness killed and defeated one of the gods and took the weapon from them, it was corrupted. There is a lost sword called the Holy Avenger that was wielded by Metal himself. And apparently it was lost when Eurus and this giant explosion went off as Blackrazor was broken. And the darkness and the forces of darkness had to retreat. And this was one of the main reasons that the Wood Elves are no more. Or they are scattered throughout the whole world, pretty much. They have no place to call home.
I would relay that information as the rumors of the songs. And I guess I would suggest perhaps we seek out this holy avenger of the former god of Metal.
Well, we don't have any other leads aside from a Genie King Navy being out at sea, possibly coming towards Stormbrook.
Oh, well then, let's kill two birds with one stone, as they say. Surely he must know of something of it.
The Genie King?
Why, of course. Someone of that great of power must be searching of legendary artifacts for himself, I'm sure. We dispose of him, take out one problem, and find a solution for another.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Where do we go to find the site of where God died?
Oh, we're not going to look for the site. We're going to simply figure it out from this Genie King Rizu at the south.
What makes you so sure that he knows where it's at?
Well, I'm not sure if he knows, but worst case scenario, we dispose of him. And we solve one problem in the world. And perhaps he knows of its location. We can't lose with this plan.
Prio smiles. You get the sense that he really loves your confidence.
Or we could actually talk to the sword. Perhaps the sword would have some answers.
You were holding it for a while. Did the sword say anything to you, Delion?
Thor also chimes up and says, the sword also said when I was wielding him for the limited amount of time before accident took it from me. It wanted souls. So I don't know if we want to be asking that for advice.
Well, we have two other items. Perhaps they know something?
I have been meaning to talk to a hammer about some stuff.
Oh, sword.
That's my... that'll be on my itinerary. If you could just sort of put that in my room. Because I'm going to head out for a little bit.
Okie dokie.
Thank you. I will be back, and Booker is going to walk out.
Booker seems eager to figure things out, but he's a little maybe poorly equipped, so he wants to get some more spells and reagents and so on. So
better equipped.
Better equipped. So Booker takes off. You know, he's not quite at his wizard's temple, you know, but he's...
Do you need accompaniment? Or do you prefer solo?
Inside of his head, turns. Sure, you said you knew where this location is, and I've. This is the first steps into this town, so lead the way.
Shall we all go as a group then? I find an ensemble is the most preferred method of travel.
Are you
I
taking
don't
the
have anywhere
bait?
else to be right now. But I put the sword, but the Warhammer in Booker's room because he's gonna take a look at it.
All right.
Night.
Okay. I assume it's a mace, not a warhammer. I keep getting confused now.
Sure
I can
it's a
tell you
Warhammer.
exactly what it is. I think it's a warhammer.
It's a crowbow.
It just looks like a big hammer. It was mace.
It's a giant hammer. Made for dwarves. It's a warhammer.
Mm.
It can be used as a one or two-handed weapon. Kind of like a spear.
By a dwarf.
Yeah, sword chimes
like
up and
this.
says, I need to get some stuff from there anyway before I head out back home.
Sor, you
Alright.
wanna... Sor is kind of eager to leave and go home to his people. Sounds like we're all heading to Rashad Halamid's place, correct? I'm gonna start walking through the town. I'm
My
gonna just
favorite
roll,
place.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
wish
roll
this
a d20, and if I roll an 18 or higher, some people bump into you. I roll a 19, as you guys can see that, right? A group of Exodus Order approaches you guys on the street, but I'm going to change the ambience here. Kidnap, parking, thingy. I don't know if that's Anton.
What?
Somebody's thing there.
Oh, it was you.
As we're walking through the streets of Stormbrook, a group of about, let's take a look, as Exodus had retained 5 guards and 1 level 6 paladin. And also the bishop comes with them too, looking for you. They were headed to the temple because they heard that Exodus had returned, but they heard the untimely news that maybe as she approaches you, Delion, Cardinal, this gnome-looking bishop, as she has just like robes on. She has dainty curly hair. And you guys remember, she was the one who runs the Temple of Metal, who they wanted to name after St. Exodus, but I think Exodus was too modest to have it named after himself. Cardinal! As they approach with, like, you know, a little god. Is it true? We've heard a terrible rumor that Exodus is dead and he is not with you.
I'm afraid he is. I'm preparing the body for transfer to your temple soon.
What happened? Why weren't you able to bring him back?
I failed for some reason because his mortal enemy apparently trapped his soul.
You don't know that.
That's true. I believe I'm not sure how I failed, but I couldn't. His soul was beyond my grasp.
His soul was beyond your grasp, Cardinal. But you're the prodigy.
I'm sorry, I failed.
She kind of like, she says, she kind of collapses a little bit. She's like another guard kind of like just lifts her up a little bit. She's like, but where will we get all the gold? Keep the temple running.
Exactly. Can I insight check her emotion?
Sure.
If it's genuine or not.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. 31.
Oh boy.
Good lord.
Maxing begins. She seems like kind of, you know, distraught about it. She's obviously like worried that she's kind of worried, like, where's the gold going to come from? You know, you kind of get a hint of like, it's like kind of like half tears a little bit, as Exodus was like a major cash cow for the temple.
I would recommend that we combine our temples, yours and mine. Perhaps that way you can still stay operational.
We only have funding for a little while longer. With Exodus gone, people were donating so much money in hopes that he would keep them safe. We only have about another 9 weeks of funding left. It takes about 20 gold or so to keep it running. And Barna, you notice this, and she seems to be like overestimating the amount of gold it would take to run the temple.
Well, my temple has plenty of funds for now, so perhaps we should combine the 2 temples in one, and set up a tribute to the heroes that have fallen against the darkness.
Cardinal, one of the guards speaks up. Basically, this level 6 guy, this level 6 paladin speaks up that Exodus had hired, and he says, "May I go and retrieve the body and bring it back to the temple then? Or were you already planning on transporting it yourself?"
Well, I was trying to prepare it for a transfer because it's not really in a good condition right now.
All right. When should we expect the service? And lay him to give him the rights and lay him to rest.
Tomorrow morning.
Agreed. We will meet you at the Temple of Metal tomorrow morning.
Very well.
Pretty well, and the bishop kind of sobs and cries as the guards kind of be like, "It'll be all right." They kind of pat her on the back, but she's only about 3 feet tall. Anto, you kind of look around. You don't see the goblins on the walls. In fact, just by walking through the city a little bit, you see that there's a lot more guards around, right?
Yeah, I bet they just went away.
Well, maybe not. We'll have Anto make a roll. If he rolls a 15 or higher, the goblins come towards you right now. Every time Anto moves throughout the city, the goblins are looking for Anto. It is rumored that the Odyssey has returned.
Please be low. 14.
You see, you do see a goblin. They're like, they just see like a group of them. You know, like 4 or 5 of them are just like looking around. You try to get. It doesn't sound like you want to get their attention, though, do you?
Nope. Not at all.
And Anto, as you're walking to the shop, they says, "Now, Anto, we agreed. We were going to not spend any gold at the shop before we built our own temple now."
Oh, that's the trident. Okay.
Yes, it's the trident. Who else would it be? You don't talk to anyone else but me.
That's not true. I speak to people. I decide not to sometimes.
Well, you're very quiet, and if we need a person to deliver the voice to say that the god of the seas is the greatest god, of course it is. We need a loud champion. A champion that will scream it from the rooftops.
Don't worry. We can get a person to preach if we pay them well enough. But not now. Later.
I don't know. I'm not sure you've quite changed your ways. Are you trying to deceive it? Or are you trying to like go and spend the gold, at the shop?
I'm trying to stretch it out, like the time between I have to do that stuff. Let's just stretch it out.
Just roll deception roll. I'll roll a d20 to counter you with an insight roll.
Deception.
Roll a 17.
Oh.
As Wave has begun to like sense you out and know that you will not donate the funds.
Can I use my inspiration?
Yeah, roll with advantage. Someone in Twitch gave the next roll with advantage, by the way. So if you want to roll with advantage, you can.
Now, Devil's Advocate, he hasn't actually bought anything yet, so
that's why the wave is the wave is kind of anticipating this.
I got a 15.
No. I think you and I should take a detour to the temple district and start finding some new land to build our own temple.
Why not find a temple that's already built for the god?
This way.
You're not pointing anywhere.
As you kind of you just take control. You're just like snap. Are you going to serve Lanier, or are you going to serve your own greedy ways?
Vero's just looking at this maniac, fighting with his own weapon.
You'll get used to it. Don't worry. It's actually quite enjoyable to watch.
I'm glad I nearly
enough.
killed him.
Just we cannot separate from the team right now.
Well, I don't want you to spend a single gold piece until we start laying down the foundation, until the first brick is laid for our new temple.
You and I had a talk that it was those specific 7,000 gold pieces. It was just those 7,000 gold pieces. You said it yourself.
Show me where the 7,000 is, so I may be convinced.
It's right over here, and I grabbed a bunch of
sticks the head into the money.
As Anto is walking around, he has this awesome looking trident, but he's just he sounds like just a bunch of coin, It's like chink, chink, chink as he's walking through the city, just like talking to himself. The bums on the street are, they are looking at Anto like, God damn, this guy must be like one of the rich noblemen, just walking around with all this coin. And nobody wants to mess with him because he's got this trident looking thing. Does he fight in the pits? What is he?
He looks like he's just wearing normal clothes, but he sounds like he's wearing plate mail.
Yeah, exactly.
Heavily armored.
Ching, ching, ching. And you guys make your way to the shop. And let's load up the ambience for the shop.
Ooh, shop.
The Shaking Boulder is the name of the establishment. You guys walk in, there's a little ting-ling-ling-ling. And one of the elves come up to you and says, "Oh, hello. I wasn't quite expecting you all in here. Oh, Cardinal, what are you doing here?"
I'm just here, I guess, to exchange items, I suppose.
exchanging and buying and selling, of course, of course. Mr. Rashad, of course, is a little busy indisposed handling an audit by the Queen. He seems like kind of annoyed and he seems like kind of suggestive, knowing that you guys could maybe do something about it.
Oh, I wish Accident was here.
What about the Queen?
Well, the Queen, unfortunately, has required an audit of all of our books. You see that she doesn't look fondly upon slavery like King Ian Parnish once did. And apparently, Lord Exodin, I don't see him with you, demanded an audit, as well as Lord Orion.
On both the main figureheads, you're dead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can have a
Oh,
chat
they've
with the
passed.
Queen
Oh,
about-
that's just terrible news.
Oh, no,
she just seems like like very relieved.
There was an audit on books.
Taxes.
Oh, yes, a terrible thing. They wanted to. The terrible rumor was they were trying to get rid of slavery. Can you believe that?
Well,
Does this shop support slavery?
Oh, he uses slavery.
Of course. Would you
do you
like
think
to
these
purchase a
elves are?
slave?
No. I'm not quite in the
Oh,
market.
but sir, who's going to hold all your books?
How about a bag?
What have you
Bag.
need? More than a bag?
A bag of holding, then.
A bag of holding? Is that what you ask us? Do you wish us to take a look in our stock?
You have a bag of holding. There's no reason.
I don't know. We'd have to go take a look.
It was just for the metaphor of conversation. I was just talking about Delion. Is there any other? I'm gonna turn to to everyone else. I thought he went to go check stock. That's why I just go check your stock, please.
Okay, all right. The elf turns around. This elf is like the second-hand man to Rashad. You know.
Are there any other stores around here, please?
You haven't met the owner yet.
I want to meet the slave owner. Yes.
I go to the elf for a second. Where is Rashid anyway?
He's upstairs handling the audit. A few of the guards are there, making sure it's all worked in place.
I had tell him Bonin has come to visit again. I'm sure he will be most acquainted with me.
Oh,
I'll go check.
I can have a chat with the Queen later if you like, but for now, we do need his attention.
All right, I'll go get him then, Cardinal, since you're here. And you as well, Lord Bonin. And he goes upstairs and gets it, and you guys are kind of left downstairs. There's still you notice there is still eyes looking at you, you know. There are in Booker, you kind of put it together. Maybe you didn't put it together when you're on the street, but slavery is still well practiced here. Probably about 20 to 30% of the population is enslaved.
That's a big number.
I knew that the Western Front was going to be a little bit more different than home.
No.
Hmm?
No.
No?
I wonder how much a slave costs, though.
And Vero looks at Anto as if you can't get more pathetic.
No, you misunderstand me. You misunderstand me.
Look, if you want followers for your church, I don't think buying them is the solution.
So, hear me out. So, I need somebody to spread the word of the god of Lemire, the god of rain, I think it is. And
will you pay them?
I can pay them to do
Bless
it.
the rains.
I can convert them to being the
You
preachers
could
of
promise
that
them
god.
freedom if they join your temple, right?
Yes. Is an
Has Anto
exchange.
told us anything about what this trident
Isn't that a
actually
cult?
wants?
I,
Has he ever said
No.
anything about the temple he wanted to build?
I've been just talking nonsense to the trident.
So you think that we know about it when you've just been talking to yourself the whole time?
I hear me out. This trident wants me to be a worshiper of a god of water that I know nothing about, but I could just buy a slave too, maybe, to spread the word around for
Yes.
me. And I don't have to do it?
I have no morality qualms with it. However, I don't think it is a good image for the champions against the darkness to be using slavery.
We are champions against the darkness?
That
Where have you
is the intent here.
I thought we were surviving.
Anto, do you not consider yourself to be a champion against evil?
No.
So you're not a hero?
Well, just pretend
you?
it while you're here.
Booker, your ego is impressively high. Calling yourself a hero is...
Oh, no. I'm not a hero. I was just assuming that you all were.
Oh, no.
Considering you're gallivanting with saints and such.
It was a ballless mercenary.
Is Sora also here?
Yeah, he's in the shop because he's gonna buy all his
Oh.
things before he leaves.
Okay.
As you kind of are like asking around, looking around, you guys are talking. You guys see a man come from downstairs. He's a overweight individual. He wears a turban. He has fine silk adornments on him. Lots of gold and silver rings, necklaces, gold threads and embroidery. Maybe they're really gold, and like tip shoes that come up almost like Dutch shoes, but they're made of leather. You know, very well ornamented. This man is no commoner. He is very well dressed, and he has a goatee, a brown goatee, and he says, "Oh, hello. Barnon, it's you."
Rashad, good to see you can make your time available for us. Now, please
it's just been
come.
such a headache.
My friends here, they are in need of equipment. Booker, what is it you desire? I'm sure Rashad has what you need.
It's mostly components, really. But I am looking for a specific type of chalk.
A chalk?
It's chalk for a spell that I have. If I can look for what it's called. Sorry, give me a second. I need specifically rare chalks and ink infused with precious gems. So I'm going to need gemstone ink and very rare chalk.
Well, yeah, I see. The gemstones are not that rare, and what you ask of can be made, I'm sure. But I do have a question for you, kind sir.
Yes.
Where are these robes from? These are most unusual.
I'm not from around here, generally. I'm from more of the eastern territories.
Well, of course. I am from the south myself. I am originally from Husad. Yes. What part in the east?
I come from... if I could remember what I wrote down. Sorry, I am looking at my notes real quick. I'm sorry. Arkellet? It's a general city of... It's more on the eastern side of the continent, but Arkellet is where I'm mostly from.
Well, I see. There's rumors that the Aghel is trying to attack them.
Yes.
Mustering the forces to launch an invasion to the east. This is what our southern contacts have told us, at least.
Well, yes. Those just rumors, generally speaking. But everything is in good hands.
How much are these chalks which you speak of? How much gemstone, and what type of gemstone do you require?
Just going to have to be roughly, just together, around 50 gold. So whatever the combined total would be, I'm going to need at least 100 gold worth of this material.
Of course. How, let's say, 70 gold?
70 gold?
Of course. A merchant has to make his profits. I am being audited at this moment. If only that audit were to somehow go away, then prices could substantially drop as our costs would go down.
My dear Rashid, I'll have a separate short conversation with the Queen later. For now,
course, of
if you
course.
if you could exchange at fair rates, that would be appreciated. We need all the help we can get against the darkness at this stage. And any information you have regarding the Genie King, because you would be from the south, would also be appreciated.
Well, of course. Information does not come cheap, though, Cardinal. I am not a particularly religious man myself.
If I remove the audit, I think that's more than enough compensation, don't you believe?
Of course, that would be most gracious if the Church of Ivonia could do such a favor for us. My goodness, I would just be able to bend over backwards for someone like that.
What are you being audited for?
He tries to do an insight roll on Delion to see if she is lying. It's versus your persuasion.
I'm being completely truthful, but okay.
I roll a natural 1, so I'm assuming he just fails because your persuasion is pretty... Yeah.
22.
He just really doesn't want this audit to go through.
He believes Delion and he says, all right, how does 5% margin then serve you? I can't just sell it at cost, though, Cardinal.
Yes, that's fine. But as I said before, we need all the help we can get, and the audit is less important than this battle.
So I'm gonna just do my little calculator. I'm gonna do 1.05, so 5% upcharge. He'll sell it to you now for 52 gold and 5 silver.
Oh,
right?
Goodness, we're dividing. Okay.
So, for the chalk. Is there anything else? I just put it in there. So the prices are in gold pieces, then silver pieces, then copper, right? By the digit movement. This is your chance, guys, to try to search for magical items, or ask for magical items, or whatever. Or ask Rashid questions, as Delion says. You know, he wants to figure out stuff about the Genie King.
Well,
the Genie King is a person not to be trifled with, of course. He's a master of the southern lands, and he's invading this Samarkand, from what I've heard. Recently it was sacked. Well, apparently he is in... His temple that is being erected is in Husad.
Temple in Husad. Is there a way to get word to him, for him to meet us?
Of course. There's probably several ways to do it, Cardinal. Do you have any of your friends here able to cast Sending?
Good question. Does anybody have...
If not, we could of course sell you a scroll, and with the audit gone, of course, you know, that would be most appreciated.
Yes, I guess I can purchase a scroll of Sending.
How much would that be?
What level scroll is it?
I think it's a 3rd level spell.
Sending. Take a look here. Yes, it is a 3rd level. Scroll.
Let's see
3rd
here.
level. It is 200 gold. And he sells it to you. I'm going to roll a d20. If I roll 15 or higher, they have the scroll in stock. They do not. But if you are willing to get the audit done, he will get it made for you and ready in 2 days. It is 200 gold, I believe, and so it'd be 210 gold. Looks like we lost somebody.
Delion.
He is playing out of cafe. Mm-hmm.
I need a few weird things.
He will sell it to Delion though for 210 gold. It'll be ready in 2 days. What else do you guys want to do?
Well, I would like to look over their inventory for any sort of magical... anything that they have, really. Just to see what they have. Yeah.
It's one of these things where you would have to ask for the magical item, then they have to see if it's in stock. Magical items are not like I don't have a list of magical items. I pretty much open it up to the players. Then if you roll an 18 or higher on a d20, they will have it in stock.
Okay.
Depending on
All
how
right.
rare it is. I will go around the table. I will start off with Soar. What is Soar trying to do?
Thor is looking to get those goodbye gifts. So he's going to want to order, because I doubt they'll have this in stock, the Stone of Reserve, that Lounge Stone, for Booker.
Oh.
It's a lodestone?
Yeah, you can store like 3 levels worth of spells, so I figured it'd be useful to him.
Can
He
I
did bring me
give
back
up
to life, so
my magic item roll to somebody?
Yes, you can.
All right.
I'm just trying to this is called a Stone of Reserve? Or it's an Ion Stone? Oh, it's an Ion Stone of Reserve?
I can send you a link.
It's 5,000 gold, so you have to roll a d20. This is your first roll, unless you want to use Exodent's roll since he's not here. Exodent/Barnin. So you have to roll a d20, and if you roll an 18 or higher, they have it in stock.
No.
I tried to save time by giving the calculations. You guys know how much gold you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thor's
Byro, do you want to roll again and use Barnin's roll? Or do you want to let someone else to try to roll on another item?
I'll use Barnin's roll. It's kind of important. No.
They don't have it in stock, but they can get it made. How much gold do you want to give them to get it? Have the merchants search for it. The more we'll say each 1,000 gold you do, we'll start off with a d10, then every 1,000 gold you go down will go down by a die. The base cost is 5,000 plus the margin. So it's 5,250 for the item. Right? And then, so every 1,000 gold piece, right now would be 1d10 weeks for them to get it. I won't make the roll until you decide how much gold you want to pay on them to try to bring the item here.
So it's 5,250 for the...
For 1d10 weeks.
I will
A week in Zen is 10 days.
I'll spend an extra 2,000.
So I will drop the die down to a d6. Is that okay?
That'd be
so you spend
7,250?
Yeah. As they will try to go it, I'm going to roll it in. I'm rolling it in Tailspire so you can see it's all legit. They'll have it in 5 weeks. So you pay them the gold, and they will get it to you in 5 weeks. So we have the... Well, hold on here. I'm just doing one thing at a time. So I have an Excel sheet for you guys. I will create a new sheet here for magic items. And I will put I'll put today's date of the game date, right? Which is the 22nd, 8th month of 22nd. And you want to get the Lodestone of Reserve?
Yes.
All right, it's on its way.
And one other thing is an elemental gem, blue sapphire.
Is this a magic? This is also a magical item, right?
Yes, it's an uncommon, costs 800 gold.
I'll let you roll a d20. If you roll a 10 or higher, they'll have it in stock, since it's probably not that much. It's not super rare.
15.
It's like below 1,000. They have it in stock for 800 gold. Okay. So 800 plus, the margin, like I said. You have to spend 840 gold, since Delion did such a good job with the persuasion roll. So 840 gold. Cool.
And I will give that to, I guess, Booker as well, since we gotta wait for his thing. I trust him with that more than anyone.
Wait, what do I get? I'm sorry, I was looking for stuff.
Elemental gem, blue sapphire.
Oh, okay. I will put that safely away in the components pouch.
It summons a greater elemental when you break it. Air elemental.
Is there anything else you want to buy, Sor?
I think there was something else, but
Yeah, it just depends on the rarity of the items. Like the links are a very well connected organization. So if they don't have it immediately here, they send it. They communicate to. They have a network, right? Where they can acquire many items. Although they're not connected to Chult, which is one of where the merchant princes are, but they're connected to most of Orin at least.
Lightning in a bottle for us to remember you by.
Actually, Mike, I'm gonna do that actually.
Oh goodness.
Viro, do you want me to come back to you, or Viro, do you want to buy any more items, or do you want? Okay, Anto, I'm just going around the table clockwise. Anto, did you want any items, buddy? Anto is thinking, or he's AFK or something.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, my bad. So I'm not looking for items. Can't buy really with this wave.
This is a place where you can buy. So you can buy. I'm gonna put. Did I roll on it? I'll roll 2d6. This is. I think I rolled it for Delion though. This is how many lesser healing or minor healing potions they just have in stock, right? As this is a large city, they have 4 of the 50 gold potions in, right? Of course, they charge them with margin, so it'd be 52.50 gold. 52.50 if you guys want to buy those.
Yeah,
you guys want to buy them?
No, I won't buy anything now.
You don't want to buy anything, Anto?
No. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go to Barnon. Barnon doesn't want to buy anything either. I think he just gave his roll away, right? Or do you want to buy anything, buddy?
I am in need of paper. I have many compositions to write now.
Of course,
of course.
You want a sheet or a book?
Oh, let's get a book of empty paper.
Of the finest stock. You wouldn't mind, we got this that Lord Orion was harvesting the trees in the south. Fortunately, we were able to mill them. Is that a problem for you? That they're from the Deepwood Vale?
Why would it be?
I don't know. Mm-hmm. The widow seemed highly offended that one of their own kin was harvesting the forest.
I can't know where it comes from.
Oh, let me see here. Book. I'm just looking at prices. A book is 25 gold pieces. It costs 26.25 for a book.
I will get 2 books, and that'll be it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I put a little picture in it. It's something that is equivalent to a spell book. I'm assuming there is at least a few hundred pages in each one.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, and they're just, it's like a standard sheet of paper kind of thing, right? And again, it's more abstract. Like you can make it a bigger book or a smaller book if you want. But that paper, like paper and by itself is very rare and expensive and only bought by rich people. All right. Booker.
I have a few things that I'm interested in, but I don't know if they would probably have them for sale. The most one that I'm very interested in is if they have a...
You get to ask for one item and make the roll on it.
Oh, it's just rare. One thing. If it's super rare, is it like depending on rarity or gold price? Is it
Depends on what you're asking, buddy.
Okay. Bracers of defense.
Didn't we pick this up, guys, as an item somewhere?
Did we?
I think we did.
No, you're thinking we
got
got
another campaign.
Yeah, no, it is this campaign. It was with Dumby. We got those bracers.
But Dumby took them, right?
No, it went to I forgot his name.
Got to another person, right? But somebody got this item.
Delion
took
them. Then I went to Azul, and I don't know what happened to it after that.
So Azul has it?
Yeah, I think he probably still has it.
Excellent. I'm sorry. Barnon rolls. So let me look at my notes here real quick before he rolls. Okay, so if you roll, what do you want? Do you want high to be good or low to be good, Exodus / Barnum?
High.
So high is good. That means that I kind of know your intention then. So if you roll low, something bad happens.
As is the typical case.
Okay,
rolling?
roll a d20.
Wait, what's going on?
I have no idea.
Natural 20.
11. Not good or bad.
Slightly higher than middle.
London, have you heard the guard are trying to... They've heard that a vampire has taken up league in the sewers. And they are sending
it's
down
just
the
a rat
forces.
here.
Of course,
But
they're
this
trying
is
to...
interesting.
Yes, they say it was a dastardly thing. A former member of the Dark Divide, no doubt. Looks like your work to fighting the darkness is in need. Booker, you can roll a d20. If you roll an 18 or higher, they have the item in because it's 6,000 gold.
Okay. Should I roll in tables, Tailspire, or just D&D?
Roll whatever you want.
All
Roll
right.
your-
Let's just roll it in D&D Beyond. So 17.
Nice. I said 18 or higher, so they don't have it in.
Damn it.
They tell you, though, that the vampire in the sewers apparently has this item in his possession.
You know what we gotta do.
There are lower things that I also want to try to show.
Do you know of this person, Saw?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Seems like the cardinal shall handle this. Undead, roaming about the city. That can't be good for business.
Not good for performances either.
They have the eyes of the darkness.
Booker, I'm
Can I
going to
kill
do
the
the same.
darkness
So
and-
I'm going to do the same thing that I did for Viro / Thor. You can order the item. They will go get the item for you if you don't
Okay.
want to. Maybe go get it from Azul in the sewers.
Hmm. I mean, knowing that, how long would it take? Would I know? Would they tell me if they, or are they basically just saying, go down to the sewers and just take them off the person? Either or.
Well, Delion is sword
This
now.
is yeah. I mean, this is a thing from the previous adventure before we left to go get Blackrazor. They had to fight Alarian, and Azul was turned into a vampire, and he is running the Thieves Guild from Alarian's previous script.
I will put a pin in that information, and I'm good on the bracers. It's fine. I did have a few other things that I was interested in. If you may have them, I don't know how advanced your stock is.
So you can only make one roll, and so you made it and failed.
Ah, okay,
So the rest of it has to be ordered.
okay.
You want to order anything?
I was interested in a few things. A cloak of many fashions and a few dispelling stones, if possible.
Cloak of many fashions.
Yes.
Trying to find this. I have it under equipment. Oh, there it is. Okay.
It was a toss up between that or the shift weave.
If
I
you
just
guys
wasn't
are-
sure.
If you guys are looking for items sometimes in Monsters and Magic, you can go in the search function. You can see depreciated. These are items I haven't quite maybe moved over to the enchantment system. Like this one is just it changes the style of it. This is a really minor one. They have this in stock. It's only 100 gold. Not going to be like too much of a bully on you. So it's 100. They'll sell it to you for 105 gold for the cloak of many fashions.
All right, I will add that to the total, which was so that's 105 plus for it was what 100? No, it was 52. But I was wanting two amounts of the chalk and the magical ink with. That would be
the chalk is easy for them to make. They probably have one D20 magical ink in stock right now, right?
Well,
They have
Specifically,
12 magical
it's,
link in stock.
Okay. Now, how much of that can they use to add like gemstones to it? Because that's what the material component calls for.
They already told you the price of the gemstone thing, right?
Yeah, that was like 52.
Yes, 50. I linked it in chat, right? Unless you guys want me to start labeling them better.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just copying and pasting out of sales. It was for 52.75, 52.50. So let's buy one item at a time, Booker.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I thought I could.
Stuff. Ruby with
All right.
stuff. Ruby with ink. How many of those do you want to buy for 52.50?
Just 2.
Okay, buy 2 for 2 times 52.50.
250. So that would be 52.
105.
Yeah, 105. Okay, the same as the cloak, huh?
Yep, and you buy the cloak as well.
Yes.
Like gems are actually much easier for them to get. Right, magical items, that's a different deal altogether, especially like very powerful magical items. But like cosmetic stuff like the cloak and other like cosmetic items are typically $100 gold or under. That's not too big of an ask for them.
Okay.
What else do you want to get, buddy?
The last thing I was I don't think, since you said it would have to be imported, dispelling stones. They looked interesting, and I thought that they could be useful because we keep on getting hit with magical blocking things.
Yeah. So one thing I'm trying to think about in my mind that's just easier to do. How magic items are created like this one. If you throw the stone, it uses the spell check DC number, which is 15.
Mm-hmm.
The idea too is like, well, if you use the wand or like use the staff, it should go off your caster DC. So whenever you use a magical item, it's based on your caster DC, not the magical item's caster DC. It would be a slight buff to magic items, I guess, in a way, but I don't know how serious it would be. You had a one-time use. It's 1,000 gold per stone. It's more rare, so yes, they would have to be ordered in. I will start the die. I'll start the die roll at 8, and then move down for each 1,000 gold you add to that.
Okay.
So 1,050 gold, and then plus 1,000 for each die roll to get it quicker, and then I make the roll. But you have to agree to purchase it before I make the die roll.
I'm sorry. I'm really bad at math, so I need a second to figure out how many, because I want to get. I think 3 is a good number, so that's 3,000.
So this is 1,050 gold per one. Then I'm going to start it off at D8 weeks to get all 3.
2, so that would be 200 and then 200. Okay, so 3,150 gold for 3 total, and that would leave me with that much. So I'll toss in. Yeah, I wish to get 3, so I want to toss in 2,000 on top of that.
Okay. So I'm going to lower the die roll down to a D4.
Okay.
As basically the order has been expedited. So you're going to add. You said 5,150 is what you're going to pay him?
That's going to be the total, yes.
Okay, roll it up. Or
roll D4?
Reduce it? Yeah, I'm gonna roll it for you right here.
All right.
In Tailspire. I roll a 1, so it'll be ready in 1 week.
All right. Well, then that sounds good.
And let me get this for Soar. Soar, how many weeks did I save with yours?
I think you said you rolled. It was put down to a D6 or was it D8?
I think I rolled a D6. I think 4 weeks. I think, right?
I think it was 4.
You guys remember what I said for Soar? I think I said 4.
Well, you can actually, if you rolled it in game, so you could check.
I don't know if
you rolled a 5.
Oh, okay, 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks,
so.
buddy. Cool. This is for Booker. This is for 3 dispelling stones. I'm just keeping track because, again, we're on the 22nd, so again, I'll be in 1 week. Cool. Is that it, Booker?
Well, yes. The other thing I definitely don't think they'll have here, so I'm good for now.
You can still order it.
Well, it's a tattoo. I thought it was be funny because we're the Illuminators, and there is an Illuminators tattoo, so...
You just want you want a tattoo of Illuminators?
Well, it's an actual item. But basically, what it does is it lets you use your fingertips as if they were an ink pen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the name of the item again?
It's called the Illuminators tattoo.
That's so cool, man. This must be from Tasha's because that's where they used it. Yes, I see it there on my thing.
Yeah.
That's 500 gold. So I'll start it off at a D6 roll. You want to get it put in. Now, here's the thing. Like, the tattoos are different. How the tattoos work is this is sort of a let me take a look at what this is exactly doing. It's a magical scribe where you can write with your fingertips as ink. So again, I think of this as more like a cool cosmetic type thing. This is something you could just get done.
Okay.
This was something you would get done in the afternoon, and you'd probably come back tomorrow and they would finish it. So it'd probably take a couple days to do. But for them, again, I would probably charge the full rate for something like this. So 700 times 1.2. It'll cost you 840 gold to get this done.
840 gold?
Per hand. Per hand.
Well, the tattoo only takes up one hand from what I read from Tasha's. So
yeah, so you can get it done on both hands though if you want.
Oh gosh, that would just be I'd be marking everything.
I know, it's a really cool concept though.
It is. Maybe in the future, but for now, I think just one hand. So
you want to get it done?
Yeah, of course, I'm gonna do that.
840 gold.
840 gold
for magical tattoos.
840 gold.
So you can actually learn to tattoo yourself because they have to use the magical ink to do it. And again, it's just something that they're going to do. Cool. Booker, do you take off to go get this process getting started on yourself?
Sure. You
head over to the tattooers.
Yeah, I'll head over there.
And Booker, as the tattooer is doing it, you notice that they have the slave marking on them, right?
Well, I don't know what that marking means. I never had to deal with
you
slaves.
know.
No, I don't.
You've kind of.
I have history. I know.
Delion's up. Delion, what items do you want, buddy?
I put most of the items in the Discord channel to avoid talking too much on the.
Sure, buddy. Let's take a look at what you put, because I saw you were writing in there. Let me take a look.
I put in +1 breastplate, +1 shield, and a +1 flame tongue short sword. That's it. Because I couldn't get the scrolls because it takes too long.
You can get the scrolls, but you just have to pay extra. Or they'll take like a while to get. I'd have to start it off at D10 weeks.
It's faster for me to just do spells day by day and just do what I need to do. I mean, there's
up to you, buddy.
No rush, Delion.
Sorry?
Put in no rush.
Yeah, but it takes like really long time for a scroll. It really does. I looked at it. It takes like a month. So.
Well, I'm just gonna roll D10. A month is 30. What is it? 30 or 40 days in Zen. And again, I just roll a D10 weeks type thing. So it could be 1 week as they get it in. You know, I just kind of leave it up to the dice. This would be per scroll though that you would get. Now, for each extra 1,000 gold you spend, I lower the die roll down by 1, so we go from a D10 to a D8.
Well, I mean, I would like 1 scroll at 5th level, but that's it. I mean, I'm not going to do more than 1.
You don't want to? Do you want to pay extra to get it rushed?
How much would it cost me extra-wise?
Well, first of all, First of all,
really
what? First of all, let's back up a little bit. What item do you want to use for your roll for the D20 roll to see if they have the item in stock? Do you want it to be one of the armors, or do you want it to be the weapon, or do you want it to be the scroll? Because they might have it in stock.
Yeah, let's just do the armors and the stuff that I...
Okay, you got the armor. Roll a D20, please. If you roll an 18 or higher, the armor's in stock.
Okay. I thought it's pretty standard because it's only +1, but hold on a second. 5.
So they don't. It's standard, but they don't have it in stock. You know, that would be something I would say it takes D4 weeks to make.
Okay.
I'll roll it right now. Get it enchanted. Takes 4 weeks to get made. If you want to get it made.
Okay.
You want to get it made?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm just gonna do. The reason I wrote it down is because I was just gonna get it anyway, regardless.
Okay, and that is for armor. I think it's 1,000 gold, or was it 1,500?
1,500. I actually wrote it down. So.
Cool, man. 1,500. So I'm going to times it by the rate, which is 1.05. It's going to cost you 1,575 for the armor. It'll be ready in 4 weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
The shield +1 as well, I guess. We're going to just roll everything, I guess.
I'm going to roll another d4 for the shield. I have to write it in my Excel sheet so we don't lose track of it, too. The shield will be ready in 1 week.
Okay. And then finally, the last one was the Flame Tongue Short Sword. That's it.
+1 armor. What type of armor was it again?
Breastplate.
Breastplate. The 1 week for the shield, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then what was the last item you wanted?
The Flame Tongue Short Sword, just as like a last kind of resort sort of thing.
How much was it? How much did it cost to make this?
It's
how much does it
5,000.
cost? So that would be a D10 one. You want to rush that order or no?
Yeah, sure. I'll rush the order.
How many thousands gold do you want to spend on extra?
I can only spend 1,000. I don't have any gold left. So.
Okay, so we'll say 6,000, right?
Yep.
So it would be the total will be 6,250. Do you have enough gold?
Yes, I do.
Okay. For the weapon, I'm going to lower it down to a D8, right? Here, I'm going to roll it. I'll have it ready in 5 weeks.
Okay. So everything will be ready in 5 weeks. Got it. That's it.
What
for
is
me.
so they can deliver this to you guys if they know where you're going to be at, right? Because it's like their trade network too, and they can try to get it moved, but again, it might take another week or two as they move everything. They don't move things through like magical means per se, like teleporter circles, things like that. They're too unreliable. You know, they can't get them set up. You know, as war and things have broken out, you know, they don't want to spend a ton of gold and just do this. You know, that just cut into their margin. They can just hire slaves to transport this, or a group of slaves with the merchant to transport these items across the sea and so forth. Delion, did you want to get one of those scrolls like you said?
I can't afford it, so no.
Okay.
Much
How
are you
much
lacking?
So, are we going to sell Whelm, the hammer, out of curiosity? That's what I was asked last time as well.
It's in Booker's room
Yeah,
right now.
not
So
until
take a
I
look at it.
not until I interview Whelm. So,
Is there anything else you guys want to shop for or say talk to Rashad about?
There's one more thing Thor would buy.
Okay, so
Genie King, the
It's
location.
a 3rd level spell gem.
how much is it?
600.
That'd be a D4 type thing. Because it's less than 1,000, right? You ready for me to roll it?
Yep.
Okay. 2 weeks. And you said it was 600?
Yes.
And so it'd be 630 gold.
And if it's possible, is it possible to have like a spell already prepared inside of it?
What spell do you want prepared?
Lightning bolt. I think that's 3rd level, isn't it?
yes.
Okay.
To have it just stored in, it would be, this is sort of like a renewable scroll. That's the way I'm thinking about it. It would probably cost you another 50 gold to get it stored in.
Okay, so 680.
Just off the, yeah. I don't even know if it would cost that much, as like mages and stuff are not ultra rare, and they would know that spell to be able to store it in it.
Well,
Sorry,
if I
forgot to
can,
ask-
I like to flavor it as like a lightning bottle that they open up.
For sure. There you go. You got a lightning bottle on its way.
All right,
Delion, what's up?
I forgot to ask one thing. The Genie King, something about the Scroll of Sending, I remember. Well, how much does the Scroll of Sending cost? Because I'm really...
Yeah, you disconnected. I think we said it was 200 gold, so it'd be 210 gold. Was that right,
Oh,
guys?
yeah, I'll take that
So,
because we need it.
So it's 210 gold, and it'll be ready in 2 days.
Okay.
So just add that to your sheet so we don't forget. And just remember it's
Got
in
it.
your sheet, in 2 days.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else want to say anything or buy anything?
I'm just going to be shooting the shit with Rashad when everybody else leaves for a little while.
Cardinal, they say the Genie King can grant you any wish, but you have to bargain for it.
What do you mean bargain? What kind of bargain?
Well, he just does not give his wishes out for free.
Would a wish bring back an accident?
We are far away from the Genie King's reach, but I have heard him doing great deeds, and yes, I have heard him bringing back people from life before. But
Well,
at what
Then
cost?
it would be worth it, whatever the cost, from my perspective.
They say the Genie King is not one to be trifled with. Recently, it was heard that the Queen from the Isles of Aethelos tried to bargain with the Genie King. She was angered, and so they sent her navy west to try to attack Usad itself. And the Genie King summoned a great storm and sank all the ships.
So she attacked the Genie King because she was angry at him? About what?
Well, you know elves. They always try to rise up every once in a while, and it's up to us to put them in their place.
Ah. Okay, so he's not only a slaver, but he's racist, but okay.
Of course he is.
Well, we can't just have elves running the show. They're immortal. They think they know everything.
Well, I certainly don't know everything, so we should have a chat with the Genie King later.
Yes, Delion, I shall also have a chat later.
Sure. I'm gonna go back to the temple and do some preparations.
Yeah, look on the bright side. At least he's not misogynistic.
Actually,
You don't know that?
Uh-oh.
that was about a couple dozen sessions ago as well.
Doesn't like the Queen anyway, so.
Barnin and Rashad go back to the arboretum that's connected to the shop. It's a place where plants and birds flock, like an aviary of sorts. Inside of it, where his opulence, slaves bring them drinks and smokes and pipes to smoke the finest weed pipe from Husad. Yes, this is what I'm talking about, Barnin.
You do have quite a good quality smoke here.
So I really appreciate you bringing the Cardinal Bride to influence the Queen on the matter of this audit.
Well, of course. I can't be having the Odyssey of Illuminators paying outrageous fees for necessary equipment.
It's a shame that accident had to die, and Orion as well, but what else can I say but good riddance?
I had a slight investment in him. I'm slightly disappointed in his loss, but it seems he was a bit foolish.
How much coin did you lose?
Oh, it wasn't coin, just a matter of time, and time is quite valuable, as I'm sure you are aware.
I'm sure. Time is always running against us, but what can you do? You might as well just sit back every once in a while and smoke some hashish.
Agreed, friend, agreed.
He claps his hands a little bit, and a couple slaves bring you guys some drinks, some refreshments.
I'll just be chilling there for a little while.
What do you think about the Cardinal? Is she true to her word?
I believe she will, in fact, do what is necessary. I've only briefly met her, but I've heard of her. She's stubborn, but she is very, very determined to do whatever she sets out to do.
And the rest of the party is kind of heading back to the temple, or where's everybody going? What's Viro doing?
Yeah. As soon as we walk out of the shop, I asked everyone what the deal is with this vampire in the sewers. It has to do its duty, you know.
before I head off, and we do have at least 2 days because we have to be here for Exton's funeral. So, and a few of our things will be here in a while, not less than a week. So, should we just hang around the city and maybe plan our next moves?
Yes, I believe we should hang around for about a month. I'm gonna try to
A month.
temple situations. Yeah, I mean it's gonna take 5 weeks for some of this stuff. So
Ew.
Yeah, and Anto has to build a fucking temple.
yeah, I'm gonna prepare a hallow on the temple as well. So I'm gonna do a bunch of things, funeral, things like that. So basically ceremonial stuff I've been ignoring.
If you'd like, I could study that sending spell and then just have it so we could use it whenever we want.
Sure, I'll give him the scroll. We need to contact the Genie King, and I'm willing to make a deal with him. So let's set that up.
All right. In the meantime, I'm going to go get a tattoo. It's my first one. I'm just going to walk away to wherever I was told to go.
Oh, no, I'm following him.
It's a full hand tattoo.
Oh, welcome back.
As Anto leaves the place, you guys are walking on the streets of Stormbrook. There is less poverty than there was before. More guards presence for sure. The ramparts are fully manned. And the funds that have been given to the Kingdom of Stormfire have not gone ill-spent. And unfortunately, Anto, you look around and you don't see the goblins there. And they find you on the street. Ah, there he is! And they, like, 4 or 5 goblins come up to you and they say, "Boss!"
Yes.
We heard you were back in town.
Yeah, I suddenly happened to be here. Yes. What happened?
What do you got there? What is that? They point to the trident.
It's a trident. It's a big fork.
Something to eat with.
Yes.
What would you
I could be
eat?
used for that. A dragon. Yes, I ate a dragon with it. Yes.
Dragon meat.
Goblins in our city, and I kill them.
Vyro starts to kill him.
Nah, if they seem to be talking, then he's certainly on edge because he just got back in the city from killing shit.
Boss,
So he was gone for like a couple months, and he came back.
as Vyro grips his
goblins everywhere.
yeah, Vyro like kind of grips his sword a little bit. You see this, Anto? He says, "See what we mean, boss? These humies don't want us around."
Yeah, there's some new ones around that are like a little bit on edge.
The high and mighty queen, she got rid of us, but she paid us in full.
Oh, well, at least you got paid then. Well, the play looks well carded, so I don't think you guys are needed to be around anymore. You can just go back.
People scared of goblins still.
Maybe.
You're not scared of us, though, are you, Anto?
No, I'm not scared. It's just,
Why don't we all go east? I heard that Egot out there needs... That's not Egot, you idiot! It's Aghel, they say. Well, yes, there's always some big boss that needs more goblins. Needs more gobbles like us. You come with us, Anto. We make more money.
Who's Aghel?
Aghel, he big boss.
Big boss.
He's out east. You come with us. We be mercenaries again. We make lots of money.
So, tell you what. You go on ahead, go over there, and I'll catch up to you in a few weeks, months, years.
Anto?
Yes?
Are you leaving us?
No, I'm not.
But you pay us so well. We get fat being around you.
Yeah. And you'll see me again. I got stuff to do. This place is well guarded right now. And
yeah, but you should not be with humies. You should be with gobbles.
You grew up with these guys?
I found religion. I'm different now.
Don't worry about it, man.
Pharaoh's opinion plummets further.
Yes, it does.
I'm not abandoning you. I'm not leaving you guys, but I need to get stuff handled before I even like leave this place. Don't worry. I'll come around. We might like cross paths again in the future. You don't know.
You're not possible. We don't know about that. We mercenaries. We might not live see again.
Don't think too much about it, man.
We need strong blade like you. Strong fork to eat troll meat.
You know what?
How does it try to feel like being called a fork?
You know, you're right. You need a strong fork to eat. So you know what? How about you have this fork and have it try it to the goblin?
Yeah, and they tried to the goblin. The goblin's like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Are you sure?
Just passing off a
How about you
legendary
hold
weapon.
on to that and I'll come back and get it from you in the future.
Take this to your
Wow.
boss.
This one's talking to me, boss.
Yeah, chop. Keep on moving. Come on. The day is getting darker. I'm guessing.
Wait, is Zero there?
It's like,
Yeah, I'm just like, I was asking him, like, were you born with these guys? He's just looking at him, handing him, like, this legendary artifact. Like,
The goblos all
just-
like gather around in a circle and are like looking at it and they're like, oh, wow.
Hey, you know what? And if you want, you can just start talking about to people that you like work with alongside or whatever about a god of the rain, you know, and they have them, I don't know, build the temple and I give them 7,000 gold pieces to the goblin. You know,
You give 7,000 gold to us? Big boss?
Yeah, and use that money wisely to build a temple for the god of water, you know, if you feel like it. Yeah.
Big boss, this is enough gold to fight our own war.
I'm gonna whisper in Anto's ear. Are you seriously doing this?
No, don't talk to me right now. I'm doing something real quick.
I feel an alignment shift should be happening, but it's still staying the same. I don't know why.
Don't worry, Vero's not gonna let this happen.
They start they're like, Anto, you big boss. You make big boss moves. You get big boss gold. You have big boss weapons. You just give it to me?
And
I
now
don't
you're
know,
the next
Anto.
big boss.
Me? Hey, look,
Yes.
my name's Booger, though.
Yes. Booger, the big boss.
Booger the big boss. I like the way that sound.
Yes.
I can be big boss like Anto.
You are Booger the big boss, also known as the champion of Lanier.
Champion of Lanier.
Yes.
This weapon say we need to build temple.
Yes.
We take Anto's gold. Okay.
Yes.
They gather up the sacks of gold, Anto, and they take wave and they say, should we stay here, Anto? They don't like goblins here. We go east, where they like goblin
east.
more.
Yes, go east.
You find us. We be over
I
in High
will.
Pass.
For sure.
And they start to leave. What does Vyro do?
I follow them.
Myro, don't worry, they're good. They're good.
I'm still following them.
They just
Champion
start
Booger.
They all just kind of like, they're like falling over the items and so forth. Let's go back to Delion, and as Vyro kind of like follows them, you know, just doesn't like the fact that an artifact's been handed off. Anto, you see Vyro kind of look determined, and he's just following after the goblins. Let's go to Delion real quick.
See, like,
Delion.
heat coming off of his back for a little bit.
At Delion, we're at the temple.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
going to do three.
What do you wanna
three
do, bud?
things, Three things. One is to prepare Saint Exodus's body in a nice way for transfer to the.
How do you do it?
I'll try to cast Lesser Restoration to make it look nice or something. Do some thaumaturgy as well to just prepare the body in a nice way.
Acolytes are there that serve you as well. They're helping you.
I dress him very carefully in his finest armor, and then send him off.
Is his plate mail that he always wore from summer camp with the prestidigitation on it. It gleams, shining, polished. His blue dragonborn scales lay there. His eyes are closed. His body has been prepared. They say, they usually take out the organs sometimes before, it's buried. Should we do it?
Actually, given that the wish spell might work, sure. Let's do that. Let's preserve his organs so that we can bring him back later, maybe.
What do you mean, bring him back? Didn't you try to bring him back, Cardinal?
Well, my powers were lacking, so we'll have to find somebody better.
Who is not greater than Ivonia who could bring Exodus back?
I don't know, but there are greater forces in play here, so I'm still seeking out new insights and new visions.
Is it Eurus?
No, I think it's somebody else, but let's talk about that later.
All right. They just kind of help you. They just kind of like... They're just kind of like preparing the body for him and just... So they're just...
I do a quiet prayer for Exodus with holding the amulet next to his chest, and then prepare his body carefully for transport.
Yeah. Let's go to Booker. Booker's in the tattoo shop. It's like, it's kind of like that. From what I've heard, like getting a tattoo is like having thousands of needles scraped across your skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like your skin. It's like it's on bone. It's like you're getting it engraved into you. It feels like, but I will not disclose what I have because people that I know watch this, so I'm not going to say. So,
let me see the nipples.
No, well, all right.
Show me your ass.
Not there, gone. Which one do you want to see? 1, 2, or 3? No questions.
Jenny's property, huh? Right on the butt.
So I think Booker.
Or you get the tattoo that Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson have, where they have the tattoo of the rings or whatever, and they're like, "Fuck, I got divorced." What does it look like and feel like, Booker, as you're getting your hand tattooed? This has got to be pretty gnarly, though.
I think it's a lot of with how tattoos are. It's not like necessarily, since it's not a spell, it's not like ritual or anything like that, but it may be in the finer workings of it, which means it's going to take a lot longer, but luckily it's not like a full body tattoo, which those ones would just be horrible. I think it's mostly resorted to the back of his hand, but kind of like creeps up a little bit onto, especially this finger, because of the purpose of the spell. It mainly is just sort of like a weaving of symbols and such, but it comes to kind of a point, almost like I'd like to say like one of those ink pens, It has like one of those designs of the kind of like two-pronged, one of those old ink pens that you kind of dip into it and trace things, trace for calligraphy. But otherwise, it's mainly just sort of, I want to think it's like a spiraling of just lines. I don't really have much of an idea for it. I was just thinking it would be fun to get.
You're holding on to this pretty well. You're able to endure the pain so much.
I think it got a belt or some sort of like piece of leather. I took the leather strap from my mage armor component and just kind of like bit down on it. So like, do I need to roll like a constitution or something?
No, you're good.
Okay.
No, make a roll of constitution.
Do I pass out or not? That's what I
yeah, roll it. If you roll like a 5 or lower, you pass out.
All right. Oh, well, it's a 6.
Almost.
I faint a little bit, but I'm awake. It's kind of like that, just like spacing out, sort of, just like
water. Let's go to Barnin then. Barnin and Rashad's kind of meeting concludes, unless you wanted to ask anything with Rashad. You feel very relaxed, being around him. Is there anything else you want to ask Rashad before you take out Barnin?
So, if you're from the south, do you have any contacts you could meet us up with?
What kind of contacts do you speak of?
Oh, just somebody to get us acquainted with the land, perhaps? Maybe arrange transport to the kingdom that the Genie King Rizu resides in.
Oh, that seems to be a problem recently, Barnin.
Oh, do tell.
Well, there's this damnable dragon, apparently, that keeps sinking the ships as they go south.
Interesting. Where does this dragon reside?
You don't know. We were able to wound it, though, with one of the ships recently. We've started to equip our ballistas onto it.
Have they had success?
Limited. But this dragon is quite large. And you know how dragons can be. Once they feel they're in danger, they retreat back to their lair. Must be underwater somewhere.
How much trouble have you had? Has it been every ship, or...?
He kind of stirs a honey tea. He's like, if someone were to handle that problem, well, they would be on a good side of the links now, wouldn't they?
This could
maybe
be
you and the Cardinal can work something out.
I'll speak with them.
You scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours.
We'll look into it. After all, it's mutually beneficial for us to be able to freely travel.
I have to be prepared just in case the Cardinal backs out of a word. I have to bid you farewell as I attend back to the bookkeeping. There's only so much my handlers can do before the guards will get suspicious. They're just breathing down my fucking neck. Pity. He's like, but feel free to stay as long as you wish. And if you need a company, you need some company. You know what? You can find some on your own. And he points to some of the some of the slaves there. He's like, feel free to choose. And he leaves.
Okay.
He nods and, he puts his honey tea back on the table though. It's only half drunk. And the other slaves that are he kind of offered you to, they kind of look down at the ground. They don't make eye contact with you.
What is the cost?
Do you go up to one of the slaves and ask that?
Yeah.
Sir Barnin, it's on the house. For the gratitude of getting the favor of the Cardinal. Do you prefer a man or a woman?
Either is fine with me.
You have to pick one at least.
Take you both.
This could be a bad image for me. I'm afraid I must pass on this generous offer. Though, if anything I could do on the side would be appreciated.
I understand.
I will take my leave. And I'll walk out.
If you don't take those slaves, they're probably just going to be sold somewhere else. It might be better to do it.
I don't care. I care about just my image. I don't care about what happens to the slaves.
Let's go back. Let's go back to Viro, and Viro is following the goblins who have Wave and 7,000 gold from Anto, and several sacks. And then you just hear them they're just cheering. And they're like, "Wait, let's go get the other goblins and get the hell out of this shithole."
How many of them are there?
There's 6 right now.
I mean,
can I silently cast spells? I don't know how that works.
You have to use meta magic. You have to use meta magic to do so.
I don't have that one.
So if you don't have the sanguine to do so, the DC, so I know last week we kind of did a lot with the overcasting rules, but I flushed out the overcasting a bit more. And I basically rolled it up into the new sorcerer thing I'm working on. So the sorcerers are really good at using their body to manipulate magic. And this is kind of where all the overcasting rules come from. I can kind of tell you a DC if you don't have it.
Yeah, sure.
It would probably be DC 12 to cast it. This would be a random saving throw.
All right. I like to silently cast Compelled Duel on the one with the trident, so that it just looks like he randomly attacks me and I have to defend myself.
Anto, what are you doing?
Is he following?
Are you following him, or are you just like taking off, Anto?
Take it off.
Good.
Where are you going, Anto?
Going back to where everybody was.
At the temple?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Okay. Anto, it's quiet again though, without the trident with you.
Peace.
Feeling lonely.
How do you feel about that? You gave up such a powerful artifact because you just didn't want to be controlled by a greater power?
I feel relaxed right now. I can spend my money on something now without anything on my ear.
That's right. Maybe you just didn't want to listen to the tridents yapping
and spit on me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. And Vyro, you make a D6 roll to determine which random saving throw occurs. See, for sorcerers, it's always like a body save for them, so they can like max out their con. 6, so charisma.
Ooh, good at that. Charisma
DC
save?
12.
Natural 20.
Gain inspiration. You silently cast Compelled Duel. You! Who are you to challenge Big Boss? Big Boss Booger in charge now. Big Boss Booger rich and powerful. He like bumps his chest with the trident.
Does he tune to it
at me
yet?
first?
He tunes it as an
Takes
action.
an action to attune. Yeah.
Okay.
I wait for him to do the first move since he's compelled to fight me, and I don't want to look like I'm
He challenges it. Like he's like, and the crowd kind of ignores us a little bit, and he's like, "Well then, you full of insults? Why you challenge Big Boss? What'd you say?"
I'm sorry, what?
What did you challenge Big Boss to? You say something to Big Boss? I thought I heard something.
I didn't say anything to you.
I thought you called me a bad name.
I have better things to attend to.
Well, then attend to them. What do you do?
Did he pass the wisdom save or something?
Did you turn around? Like leave, or are you still like staring at him?
I'm still staring at him. He's compelled me to. He's compelled to.
He's just like looking at you. He's like his trident's out. He's like, you don't go, but you say you have somewhere to go.
Oh, I have to walk past you.
Go ahead. He like kind of moves out of the way, and like the other five goblins like kind of start heading towards him. What do you do?
I walk past him.
As you walk past him and you like turn his back to you, he tries to attack you with advantage.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll roll it. He probably hits you with what's your AC?
19.
He hits you because he's wielding a +3 weapon. And I think the trident does 1d10 as a versatile weapon, +3 plus his strength, so this is +5. He hits you for 11 piercing damage. He's like, take that! No one calls Big Boss name. Now it's your turn.
I quicken spell fireball.
You just blow everybody up.
The city.
You blow up everybody else,
Probably
including yourself. Yeah, you are in the middle of a street.
Okay. That's probably
Quick spell fireball. Boom! That's how Delion would do it. WWDD. What would Delion do?
Now I understand why there's not that many people on the street. They don't want to get hit by shit like this. You guys are a threat to the city.
The streets are a fucking bombardment.
You were gone for 1 day and it got better.
I've only cast Fireball once in the entire campaign, so
I
was
will go
enough.
for an attack with my longsword.
Roll it up.
18 to hit.
Roll damage.
That is 9 slashing damage, and I'm gonna smite at first level.
Okay.
Roll the bodies.
That's 7 more damage.
And you
Radius.
swing around and you chop off a big boss's booger's head. You just like spin around and turn as you draw your sword as you get stabbed in the back, and you just like cut his head off, kind of anime style. And you hear his head roll, and they're like, and all the other goblins like scramble and just like, they're like, get the fuck out of here! But the gold, and they try to grab the gold.
Here's my bonus action to Radiant Soul, and wings burst out of my back, and a huge halo appears over my head as the clothes on my back are also torn while I do this.
This is an intimidation roll. I make a counter roll of an insight roll for the group to try to see what they do, and I have to just roll higher than this. I do. They're compelled by greed to gather as much gold as they can. I'm sure you're trying to maybe are you trying to attack the rest of them that are trying to grab the gold from the body, or how this is? It's a skill challenge.
I still have another attack.
Mm-hmm. But there's 5 of them, so they're gonna just quickly try to grab as much as they can and skedaddle. So how I'm gonna do it is it's a challenge. It's a skill challenge. You get to pick the skill you want to use to try to prevent them from. You've used intimidation on the first one. I'm gonna say there's 7,000 coins. And so you're able to get 1,000 coins minimum, but each successful roll I get 2,000 coins, and the goblins flee with it. So the goblins already have 2,000 coins, and they nimble escape, and run away into the city. So I'm going to roll the next one. You have to decide what skill you want to do, or what are you trying to do to get them as you're intimidating the shit out of them. But they're like, there's too many gold. This gold pay for wars. Few goblins gotta die, but that's just the way it is.
Oh, this is such a stupid use of this, but I'm gonna break my elemental gem and summon a greater fire elemental.
You summon a greater fire elemental.
This could go bad.
You roll a d20 plus 5 with advantage as a fire elemental is summoned. And I'll roll my d20.
Vero? So true.
Roll a 17, so I roll high again. So you got to roll a with advantage plus 5.
Just a regular d20.
Yeah. And if they're able to succeed on this, since I rolled high, they just steal 1,000.
20. So
yeah. So the fire elemental blasts one of them. They're like, "Get the fuck out! We got a little bit." So you're able to recover 5,000 coin, right? But the rest of them, they just scatter after the fire elemental summon, and you're able to recover Wave back. And as you grab Wave, and it says, "You don't serve the right god."
Shut up, and I put it in my bag.
He's like, say, "Shut up," and you just put him in the bag. He's like, "No, not again." And you shove him in there. Anto is back with Delion at the temple. What are you guys doing?
And I shortly arrive.
Yeah, and Viro shortly arrives. I just want to give Anto and Delion a few minutes maybe together.
I put Blackrazor in some wrapping and put it into the temple vault for now.
Okay.
And I also prepare a sanctuary better. I'm just doing things around the temple. Does Anto actually talk to me? I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it back to you guys.
I guess I don't know. We're gonna be waiting here, right? For the foreseeable future. We're waiting for tomorrow. So I'm just gonna head out to the room.
Anto's kind of... You see Anto doesn't have his weapon, though, Delion. What do you say to him?
Anto, where's your pride?
I don't know. I lost it.
You lost it?
Yeah.
Where did you last lose it?
I can't seem to remember right now. He said it has something to do as well. So
Can I roll insight to see if he's lying?
Sure, Anto rolls deception versus Delion's insight.
my awesome deception.
18.
I got a 7.
Okay, I don't know why you're lying to me, but did you throw it out?
I gave it away to a friend. It's in good hands right now, I believe.
It certainly is.
And as you say, you say it's in good hands. You see Viro come into the room, and he has the trident in his hands. And he says, "It certainly is."
It's in my. No, it's in my.
Oh yeah,
He's
sorry.
carrying the head of the goblin.
I just
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until he goes to bed, and I'm gonna put the trident in his hand while he's in bed, and then I'm gonna leave, so he thinks the trident keeps coming back to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Anto goes to his bed, and he's just trying to relax, I guess. Delion's not that impressed, but Viro has to make a stealth roll versus Anto's perception. Anto makes a perception roll at disadvantage because he's sleeping.
What?
I also have disadvantage on stealth.
I mean, you can take your armor off.
Do you take your armor off before you go in there? But you remember the last time you messed up, Anto and you got into a fight, and it was pretty close.
Disadvantage is an 8. Yeah, you see me. You definitely see me.
Anto, as you're sleeping, you just get up because you're Eurus is around and stuff. Is kind of weird. Just so many weird things have been happening lately. And you get up and you see Viro come into the room, and he has a trident in his hand.
What the fuck you doing here?
I'm returning your property.
What property?
Repentance.
I hold up the trident.
I gave that to Booger, the boss.
Booger's dead, and I toss the trident to him on the bed.
What?
And I hand him 5,000 gold.
Did you just... What? What happened?
They attacked me.
They don't attack humans.
Well, this one certainly did. I guess the trident got to his head.
The trident only says to spit on me. That's all it says.
And I will start leaving the room.
What the fuck? I don't even touch the trident. So I just leave it on the floor then.
You just leave it on the floor. This artifact just sits there.
Sit there at the cold floor.
Sits there on the cold floor. You don't even soak it in water, Anto.
Nope.
It just must be in misery right now. I'm going to go back to
Also, give
Barnett.
yourself back 5,000 gold, because I did give you that back.
I'm going to return to the temple also. I'm going to be looking for Delion. Will I be able to find Delion?
Delion's going around the temple, doing things, blessing the temple, getting it ready for something. She might have been pretty angry that, an undead like Arno was able just to walk around so freely in what's supposed to be a hallowed place. And so she's making more, what we should say, more ready spells, preparing things more, maybe for another encounter if Arno were to show up again.
Yeah, warding it definitely and hallowing the ground.
I would try to get your attention.
Sure.
Oh, excuse me, Delion.
Sure.
You spoke of talking with Rizu to make a deal for wishing back this excellent character, yes?
That was one of my plans, but we'd have to find him first.
I understand, and I truly can appreciate your desire for this, but our objective is to discover where the weapon of Metal is and dispose of him. And I fear that your desires here may interfere with this objective. Surely there will be another way.
Why can't we do both?
Well, typically when you make a deal for a wish, it costs quite a compelling amount of your willpower.
I don't know what the cost is because We haven't talked yet, but I'm willing to pay any price.
Very well.
Must be restored.
I will respect the great cardinal's desires here. When the time comes, I hope you will make a wise judgment. That is all.
Sure. I mean, if it turns out that if Mado's weapon, I guess you said Mado's weapon is more important, then obviously we would have to sacrifice something for that.
As long as your head is on straight, that is all I ask. And I would take my leave and probably go to bed for the night.
Yeah, you pass Vero on the way to his room, and he seems to have a.
Oh, what I've seen this before?
This is after. You see him with weaver's tools, because you see like giant holes and like burn scars on his back of his clothes, and just like it looks like doing that fucked him up a bit.
Vero, I have to ask, is it true that you left... sorry, I forgot what it was.
I just like the idea. It burned the entire thing back off. So intimidating in the front, and then you just get a pan of the back and you just see his butt cheeks.
No, just the back, like upper back.
The entire
pop up.
Right.
Is it true you took on a horde of orcs and goblins and left them in nothing but scarred ash?
When was this? But yes, probably. I do that a lot.
A lot, you say?
Yeah, there was one time I shot a fireball at a manticore in the city, and it crashed through one of the roofs.
I thought the stories were exaggerated.
No.
Could I insight check?
Go ahead.
17.
What would I roll?
If you're persuading, then I think I just automatically will believe you that. I don't know how to do.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do
17.
persuasion versus insight.
Yeah, I don't know either. So yeah, he's telling the truth.
Fascinating.
The locals' view of me is pretty wild card, I guess. To them, I help them and I hurt them. But I think I help more than I hurt, so I stick around.
Well, that is an encouraging thought to have you in our entourage.
I head to my room, and you see me pull out like a sewing kit and start sewing my robes back.
Have a good night.
It'll be a long one. These holes are a lot bigger than they usually are.
Did I have an ending? Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a question.
It could be so useful.
When you refer to the weapon of Myoto, which weapon are you referring to?
I forget, something Avenger.
The Holy Avenger, you mean?
Yeah.
And as people are kind of getting ready for the night, just going around, Delion is spending a lot of time, going throughout the temple, touching every part of it with herbs, oils, and incenses worth 1,000 gold. Delion, have you reduced that from your character sheet? 1,000 gold? To hollow the temple? I think he just locked up again. Oh. Delion, you there?
No, I'm okay. I'm all right. Yeah.
Did you spend 1,000 gold to the material components to hollow the temple?
I can do that. Hold on a second. I was just looking up the swords and stuff.
Sure. As Delion is going by, you come to Eurus's room. Do you go inside? As you begin to hollow the door to it, you begin to hollow the whole temple.
Yeah, I just slightly opened the door to see if he's okay.
He says, "Yes, I'm okay."
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm sorry I was so rude to you before. Come in.
Okay, I was in the middle of something, but alright. Let's go in.
Hmm. Are you trying to bring protections of the gods to this place?
Yes, I'm trying to hallow the ground against travel from the interdimensional plane.
Well, I understand. It is good to seek the protection of the gods when they answer. It's a shame they've been so silent recently.
You sure you don't need any healing? That's the only reason I opened the door.
Sit down with me.
Okay. Just take a quick
Delion sits down next to him. He looks like an elven man, and he looks into your eyes with like these golden eyes, right? And he looks back into your eyes too. What do your eyes look like?
Bright gold yellow. Like the illumination.
You seek the truth, do you not? Of all matters
Always.
and things. It is a
Always.
curse, and yet a blessing sometimes that we can see things that mortals cannot. He holds out his hand. He's like, hold my hand, please.
Okay, I hold this hand, but like, aren't I immortal?
I am immortal. At least that's
So,
what I
I mean,
believed.
Am I not mortal? Is what I'm saying.
I think you are more than that, are you not? You are a prodigy.
That's what people keep telling me, yes.
Hence you here call upon the gods and do great things more than any other girl I know.
I never thought of myself as that. I'm just a humble servant.
Yes, it is sometimes the duty of us lesser gods to serve greater ones. You feel it too, don't you? The power that flows through your veins. You think it's just happenstance that you're just prodigy at your age? That you have not been touched by the gods themselves?
To be honest, I haven't given it that much thought.
It's time to think. It's time to be prepared, like you're doing right now, for the challenge that is to come. There are many forces of darkness that wish to destroy this world. I was there when the great kingdoms existed, the 4 great kingdoms of Orin, and there was peace amongst all of us, trade and prosperity, before the darkness came.
It would be good to know exactly what's arrayed against us, because right now we don't seem to know very much.
I'm trying to educate you. You're stubborn just like me.
Okay. Please.
I'll tell you.
Enlighten me.
When the darkness came, I was desperate. I sired many children. You are my daughter.
What?
And you look into his eyes and they like shimmer gold just like your own. And that's where we'll begin the game next week.
What?
Yeah, we started the game with she just wanted to stab him. Yeah, just a whole lot
you
more.
dad.
Run away.
Well, I guess that your question about the mirror-like effect answer itself right now.
Yeah, apparently.
Still haven't got to talk to that hammer. Damn it.
Next week.
Damn it.
Lot to do.
Once I get to kill something each session, I will be content.
There's a lot of downtime. I think we need to wait if you want to wait for the items. So at this stage.
Got 5 weeks, baby.
I mean, I think going through the dungeon, through the sewer sounds like a fun little bit of a side quest.
Slaughter him.
I hope. Sora's gone now, right? He's left.
Yeah.
Thor has left.
Okay.
I wanted to see Sora off. So.
Before we take off, let's do. This is something I did want to do. I want to do Sora's goodbye with everyone. What does Sora do to fare people well and leave? He put some orders in with the links of gifts and things that what they will remember him by. They are on their way. They have been dispatched. But what is Sora's in need? His people need him. And where are his people and why? And what do you want to say, Sora, before you go?
Or will... First of all, he would have thanked Exodus, even though it's not like he can hear him, for the things he taught him over here, since he has learned that people are very angry. Let me actually check what he had. What would he do? Before he left, as a joke, he would also use his Horn of Silent Alarm 4 times in a row against Anto, so he wakes up.
Anto wakes up from the Horn of Silent Alarm.
That might be why Vero failed. The Silent Alarm woke him up.
My Anto's life is being a mystery right now. Like a bunch of shit happening in a span of what 2 days?
Sora tells him to collect the goods he ordered, and that they probably will see him again when he's done with his work over at home, making sure they're safe. He also tells y'all where he's at, because I don't think he has yet.
Where is home for Sora? Where does he go? And why does he go?
He goes to the is it east or west? Is east left? Which way is left?
Yeah,
that's west.
Is left. Left. That's west.
West is left.
Yes.
Okay, so to the west, past the Middle-earth Sea, in the forest outside of Geddon, my father created a village, and before he died, he put a protective stave around it. I'm leaving to make sure that that stave is well maintained, because I've been gone for many months, and I'm the only one that my father taught how to clean it up and maintain it to make sure no foul creatures like the don't mean to be racist, but the orcs and the goblins, since they are very easily affected by the darkness.
Racist.
Well, it's just how it is. They get the black eyes easier, and they end up killing people. So once I'm done there, you'll probably see me again.
And just like the lawnmower, Sora takes off. His people need
Sora overcast
the me
fly, and he dies doing
it. Did you guys have fun this session?
Yes, I got to play today.
Yeah.